Hey there, everybody. It's me. Welcome on in. We're just starting up the intro for the speed run, but we'll get to. I'll just start talking a bit, but you know, just gotta enjoy the big intro cinematic, of course. Katamari time. Pretty dance, pretty dance. Everybody whirl, everybody whirl. Get your star, get your star. Katamari mas, atsa mas. But yeah, welcome on in, folks. Or some of you may have heard Fastest Furs opened up submissions recently, and they're going to be going to like what, February? I want to say. Let me check that real quick while we're talking. So I figured to actually try and get a submission run for Once Upon a Katamari for that event. I already know there's probably going to be other folks who may or may not be submitting it. I do know, like, I already seen like HEDQ get one run in as well for like the next event, as well as one for a smaller event. But yeah, let me see. Announcements, it says submissions are out and open until the start of February, so we're going to try and get some practice in. I've got a live splits up and a few videos I've watched to try and get some knowledge on how to do the run. And let's just put the music down just a little bit. It's a bit loud. That sounds good. Well, then again, how about here? But yeah, basically... Oh, I didn't realize how to properly do this thing. Let me... Hang on, okay. Quick reset. So I'm trying to go with how the official website wants to do the speedruns. One sec. And yeah, no PNG tuber today, unfortunately, because I want to make room for the live split. Let me see. I am just currently taking a quick look at the GDQ hotfix video for this, done by Shovel Claws for the Disability Neurodivergence Celebration video. So I'm trying to exactly figure out how they get to that menu. Let's see. Options, quick game language. Okay, what about the any percent by Anna Kapora? Okay, it doesn't really say there either. Okay, we'll just like start from the title screen at the very least. That should work, hopefully, right? Oh, the game is on the wrong screen the wrong monitor right now. Hold on one second. Let me see if it'll let me move it over. Let's see, graphics. Okay, let's just move it windowed and drag it over here. Okay, there we go, that works. Yeah, let me see if it just lets me go to the title screen directly or not. Okay, it doesn't seem like it. Alright, I'm gonna, so I have the hammer here. We're gonna start as soon as it lets me, let's see. 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, basically just, yeah, how this goes is that if you don't know the game, it's, basically, roll the Katamari around and make the ball big and all that good stuff. Oh. Yeah, for some reason it's taking me turning that way, but... Yeah, tutorial's pretty simple. We've got to do the instructions, roll up stuff to make the Katamari big, and then just complete the tutorial, basically. Okay, those are a bit bigger than I thought, but... Yeah, this is like my first time officially doing this run on... while being streamed, so we're gonna... So this might be a little bit messy, but... You know, we're learning how to do our speedruns, so... Okay, now we can go up here. And yeah, I was losing a bit of time there because I wasn't sure if I could press the start button to get through that, but... Alright, now I got some new moves you can use. And dash. Use a turn. Look around at stuff. Look at the Katamari. Now we want to head up here because this is where the freebie is. Which is basically, if you don't know, it's a power-up, and it's how this game calls power-ups. And what this one does is that just drags pulls things toward us. We're going to use this a lot. This is probably going to be one of our best tools for this speedrun. And now we want to get over here and get ready for the power-up to run out. Because as soon as it runs out, our goal's going to show up. This one caused me right here. And now we're here, we can and now we've got Cosme can officially quit. There we go. Now I've got ourselves a cutscene. I'm chatting from the king as you know, par for the course, he messed up the cosmos once again. Long story short, during some spring cleaning, he found a cool scroll, was swinging around, and then threw it up into space so hard it hit into Earth and just shattered it and pulled in like all the rest of the cosmos in with it. Some big artifact called the Cosmos Scroll, some big historical artifact. But here we are with our first official stage now. This is as large as possible one, basically. Where, you know, our goal is just to reach a certain size in a certain time. Pretty basic stuff. But while we're here, this is the only stage where we can't actually exit early by clicking out, by pressing the start button when we get the right size, I should mention. Because that is a thing we can do in most of these stages, but not this one, I guess, because it's like the first official stage. Oh. Right, cutscene at 10, send enemies, I forgot about that, where just the guy leaves the house. Yeah, big thing about this game compared to older games in the series is that there are basically these crowns or collectibles that we have to collect. There's usually like 3 in each stage, and we want to try and get at least 60 before the final stage, because at certain points we gated otherwise if you don't have enough crowns. So yeah, this stage you can just basically play like a normal stage, you know. Just roll as much as we want until the time ends, not worry about the fact that we're technically doing a speedrun. So we're just gonna take it chill and roll around here. Yeah, one thing about the game is that the stamina system for rolling does seem a little bit different compared to older games. Like, for example, you can see that there's like I can press L2 just to quickly do a short roll, where I can actually just keep clicking the sticks to make it go a lot farther. There is a bit of a technique with that I haven't fully learned yet. Basically, like, it's like maximize how much stamina you use when rolling and really make yourself go super far. And you should notice that I also am holding on to the magnet. The whole thing about the game is that you can actually take power-ups one stage to the other. If you just hold on to one stage and power up and bring it to another stage, you can use it there. And I realized actually now that we already have 2 magnets in a stage, so we can just use one right now. We'll use it about here. Just try and maximize all the stuff we get. Grab all the cool stuff. Again, a big score doesn't matter in this run because we're speedrunning, of course, but you know, it feels good to make a big Katamari in stages like this. Just ruin this poor Japanese household. Usual Katamari stuff. So we need to get one more crown, and it's all the way up here. Yeah, basically in total we want to get 60 crowns by the time we reach as large as possible as 5. Which is like the 3rd final stage of the game. Then after that is one stage in Modern Era and then the actual finale stage. That we have only 1 minute left to go. little over a minute left to go, so we're just going around and I've been doing a good year so far. This is the 4th of January when I'm recording this, so that's in case you're curious. And yeah, these stages do also have real presents, but we don't matter. They obviously don't matter because we're not going for cool accessories. We're just going fast, of course. But yeah, 1 minute left, and we're gonna finish up soon. Yeah, I think my person record on the stage is like 40 centimeters or so. Using like both of the magnets as well as bringing in one from another stage. Because you can really clear out some of these early stages if you're good with magnets. Yeah, I will talk a bit more about dash tech when we get into stages that are a little bit bigger than this one. As big as we are right now, it's a little hard to dash around. Yeah, we are gonna do good. I do have chat on, of course, just in case some folks who are watching this want to chat, but, you know, I'm pretty sure they won't say anything. Will be pretty good. Because I know a lot of streamers like to, you know, have speedrun practice, like to have their chat going if they're doing it live. Oh, and there's a present. Totally fine grabbing here because we can just skip over the whole king saying, oh, you got a present thing. But we are going to confirm that we've done our first stage in Royal Rainbow. I do think it actually adds a tiny bit of time for the present opening animation. I think, but I'm not 100% sure. Alright, that's our first stage done. Now we're first... Just a little cutscene there, king of wrangling and doing some eel wrangling. Not a euphemism, he went to a sushi shop and the eel got loose and he had to help wrangle it up for the restaurant owner. And that caused me to draw a cool picture. But yeah, this game does have a lot of tutorial stuff, like, or just like railroading, I want to say. Here we just got like it fix up the SS Prince, which is basically like a little starship / time machine we were using to go to all these different eras. It's also basic options screen. And yeah, I just got like some little things basically saying, hey, here's some little goodies for pre-ordering the game and such. And also having We Love Katamari on your thing, which gives you like the young Prince King of all Cosmos to play as a cousin, but we're just sticking with Prince because that's fastest for now. Yeah, some more tutorial stuff. And now for the next stage. Oh, here he is. We've got to tidy it up. This tea master's got himself a dirty house, he's got company over, so we gotta go help him out. As you can see, we've already got a crown right there, which you really will want to grab in a bit, but... And also, I should mention that the game's theme song is done by, I forgot the exact band's name, but they did the theme song Easy Breezy for Keep Your Hands Off These Yukins, so... That's definitely pretty cool. A lot of cool folks did songs in this game, I gotta say. There's like 2 folks recording who made songs like Chill Prince, Disco Prince, there's Koshino Kenta, who's an artist I actually recognize. That thing right up there is basically like a clock, which just lets us freeze time for a bit. Which normally isn't super useful, but it does stop like the in-game timer actually, which can be nice in certain situations. And also adds like a nice little filter to the music. Okay. Oop, missed a bit here. Yeah, I forgot we could go up this way, to be honest. Whoops. Oh well. Again, we're practicing. There we go. Yeah, it's one of the few stages we're going to get an S rank on simply because we're actually doing it as we're supposed to by going fast. You know, they're present there in the form of a cool headband. I also got a lot more there. Kind of like in We Love Katamari, they were also hanging out in the cleanup stage. He's telling us that we'll be able to head to New Era soon. And also about the presents we can get. But now we gotta help out this guy, by which I mean we gotta roll up expensive things. This is the roll up 50 items mission from We Love Katamari, but except this time it's based on how expensive they are. So in our case, we aren't going to worry too much about that. But, you know, making sure it's expensive. We just got to get our 3 crowns mainly. I should mention that they do actually count toward the amount of items we need to get, so... You've got our second one up here, right in this little rope. And our third one should be up here. Inside this thing. There we go. Now we've got our 3 items, you just gotta... Oh, I didn't think those balls would be that big, but they are. Alright. That's that stage done. Yeah, we actually got Charlie as well. They're also one of the new cousins in this game, along with Cosme, who we saw during the tutorial. They're like a little robot, sort of like one of those little animatronics that those little clockwork guys they had in Japan, I think. You like to say mostly know them from Live for Live with like the Bakumatsu chapter. The good news, we're finally ready to head off to another era. And the game automatically drags us off to go to that era. Again, the game does have a lot of sort of railroading, but you know, it's fine. And here we are in the Wild Wild West, or American Frontier. Yeehaw! And I got some yeehaws from the chat, and meowdies and all those classic little cowboy themes jokes. And first up here, we have lots of drinks here. We have to help this slightly sauced cowboy get some drinks for the big party. I mean, you can tell he's sauce, obviously. The game will say it's like juice or something, but we all know what it is. Okay, so in this case, our starting position is actually kind of important, so we gotta retry a few times until we get onto the bar itself. Bit of bad luck here. There we go. And this is the first mission where we'll end it early once you get a D rank. Once you get enough beverages to clear it, which will be 140. What we're doing here is trying to grab all the stuff to get big, and then we'll head on over here and go. Carefully get over this house of cards this kid and cat are making. And then we can grab this whole pile of drinks here to give us a big boost early on. Yeah, I also should mention that each little thing in a timer does have like a number of brackets. That's how many crowns we're aiming to get in that stage, because, again, we don't need more than 60 crowns. Any more than that is a waste. We want to kind of balance getting a lot of crowns between getting as many crowns as you need and getting them at the right time. Instead, what we've got here is just a rocket, which makes us roll fast. Which, you know, is obviously some classic good speed stuff. Although not as good as the Magnet, I'd obviously say. That thing's top tier. It's the one who want a Magnet just grabs everything in this sort of game. And once you have 50 centimeters, we're finally allowed outside. Interesting thing about this stage is that this is like one of the few stages that got a pretty decent like little patch in like a recent version for 1.04. Basically, the saloon door you had to get to like, what, 2 meters and 20 centimeters to roll up, but the game had like a soft cap making it very hard to actually get to that size. So along with like a stage we aren't going to see where you have to roll up a lot of sweets. So the update there basically made it so the soft cap is higher so you can actually get the door along with the like the drinks crate from that one stage you're not going to see. So yeah, we gotta get 2 crowns here. But first just gonna get some drinks because we're gonna be close to that. Not quite big enough to grab the stuff on that table. Okay. And yeah, like that big glass of beer is called barley tea. I mean, I guess that's what you could call beer, that. Although you do gotta appreciate something that can come with some very creative ways to say alcohol on a non-alcoholic way, like, you know, barley tea. Yeah, sure, game. But as soon as we grab here, we're gonna... There we go. Yeah, again, thought we'd be just big enough to reach the table, but not quite. Royal Rainbow in the Old West, yeehaw. Alright, next up is definitely one of the more open stages. Probably one of the more harder to map ones, I'd say, personally. Just Tumbleweed Terror. Oh, and don't mind the Queen, she's just hanging out with the cousins Old West. Nearly getting robbed by some bandits, but then having a standoff where the bandits get rolled up by a giant tumbleweed. You know, just as you do in the Old West. And that's just like a little thing where you can deposit those king tokens you get to get like some little cosmetics for the cousins, like little expressions and the NC emotes. Just some cute stuff, but... Alright, the goal in this stage are all tumbleweeds, as you might have guessed. They're the ones you can see in the upper left corner, not just like any ones in particular. But also there's some bits of winds here as well that are gonna be a bit of an issue. The game sort of said hint that if we get big enough we can actually just push through the winds, but we're probably not gonna get that big. Oh, there's our first crown right here. Yeah, again, we've got to get 360 tumbleweeds, and as well as the three crowns. And again, we can also just vibe to the very good theme song. Around here, we also do want to try and take a magnet with us, because we'll be bringing that to the next stage, which is lots of gold, in which you gotta get involved in the old gold rush. All right. Should be around this area. Yeah, I remember seeing it when I was doing a quick little recap video of watching to remember where everything is. Oh, there it is. Yeah, they only really count if they're the tumbleweed, the flowery thing, or that prickly looking one. Like these fuzzballs don't count. Nor are these very circular gems and such either. But yeah, this is a very open stage, as you can tell. Just a very lot of different places you can go to. Neither of those cartoon bombs count. Nor are these big old foliage balls. Nor those yarn balls are designed to look like those dongos. Alright. I'm pretty sure we gotta go get the third crown as well before we leave here as well. Pretty sure it's over this way. I think I see it. There we go. Okay, now just to finish up the stage. And while we're doing that, of course, we can just vibe to some very good Katamari music. I say like all Katamari music is good, of course, but you know, some songs are definitely more vibe-worthy than others. This being one of them, of course. Themes tend to always be bangers. And by tend to meaning always are bangers. This is Katamari Song. Yeah, we'll have to like watch some video or two more to try and get a good vibe, big idea of like what a very good route for the stage is, because it's definitely a lot more open than the other stages. Just like to find out where the really good clusters of the tumbleweeds actually count are. Oh, there's some right here with these flowery ones. And we've got some down here. Those cacti ones don't count, unfortunately. And we're back at the saloon we were in last mission. Yeah, sadly, you don't get to explore a lot of these areas when it gets super huge, unfortunately. The only one is like Vintage Japan, which is basically like the hub of the game, I want to say. It gets a lion's share of the missions in this game, which is a bit of a shame. Would have loved to see some more stations of the other areas. But what can you do? It's fine, at least. And who knows, maybe we'll get some like updates, more stages. So I know they had that with the other Katamari game that came out this year, Katamari Damacy Rolling Live. And yes, like I said before, I still want to get that one on Steam or something sometime. But again, I do just find it very funny, the concept is basically the king wants to be streamer, he's making the prince help him out. Alright, we are nearing our goal of 360. And we just send that man flying by stealing the tumbleweed he's spinning out on. Okay, just 15 more. Oh, there we go. Yep, that's enough tumbling indeed, King. Let's get going. I'm sure this town will be fine with all the rest of the stuff going on. And there's our star. Just a big tumbleweed planet. I wonder if that planet's hollow. Alright, and for our next mission, we gotta go for good old-fashioned Western Gold Rush. Bonus one is, of course, roll up all the gold. Got 3 crowns we need to get here as well, so let's get moving. And I also didn't mention that if you haven't seen it today, I remember recently Bandai Namco has like a cool little thing called the Katamari Damacy mixtape, where it basically had like a lot of like little music videos and such for the songs in these games. A lot of good stuff in there. And yeah, I'm not exactly sure how to do like the tech, but I remember one that they talked about in the video in the version on AGDQ's hotfix is that basically do like a quick dash and a slow dash, and a quick dash. You can get a really good speed boost that keeps on going. Again, it's not one I'm super knowledgeable about how to do, but that's just something I'm gonna have to like ask and learn about maybe. And I thought there was 1 crown down here. Okay, there isn't. Right, I know where 3 crowns are. There's one there. And yeah, I love how the fact is you're just rolling up things that are gold-ish, like golden retrievers, golden hamsters, gold roses. And gold as in color, of course, not like they're actually made of gold. And right, our last 2 are up here. There's one up here, being worn by Kentaro. Or maybe Momotaro, according to the king. Well, I think because we can look at the guys that has it, it's Kentaro. You know, the pheasant, the monkey, the dog. Still remember that mission owned until we have to help out old man Momotaro with going to the Oni Islands. And there we go, there's all our gold. We've got enough. I mean, there's such a thing as enough gold. Oh, and I forgot to press the live split there. I'm not used to doing it so often, so I keep forgetting. My bad. But now it's time for the boring part of the game, because the game's gonna force us into what's basically a 3-minute auto-scroller. So, Katamari Ball here. Basically, this is just a little thing where we have to play what's basically the game's new multiplayer thing, where it just... I mean, I'll just participate just for fun. Oh, right, and first the game's just gonna tell us some stuff here we can do in our thing, but we gotta go play Katamari Ball again, so let's go play it. Yeah, basically what this is here is basically a multiplayer thing where you have to collect objects and deposit them for points. And also a little thing here, that's Dr. Katamari from We Love Katamari. I think it's supposed to be like based off of the series creator Junji Ida Takahashi, I think. Which is kind of a cool little fun little detail. But we're gonna play for now just because we need... And during this time, if we had donations to talk about, we could definitely go asking about them. Oh yeah, and also we probably should have avoided the things that should give us, like, tell us about what we can get from collecting stuff. But yeah, this is definitely like the donation part of the stream where we talk about what people want, what the donations we had and all that, but... They're fine, but yeah, basically we just gotta try and get pick up stuff in our Katamari and deposit it here. And yeah, actually the fact that I'm actually getting those little pop-ups from doing this makes me realize I should probably just not play this at all, but oh well. This is like our first run, so we're gonna do a little bit, just, you know, for the sake of just, so we're not just like sitting here for 3 minutes. Although coincidentally, my ads thing would go for 3 minutes if I turned it on, so this would be a good time for ads, to be honest. But we're not doing that right now. We're just gonna play a bit and just relax a bit. But yeah, after this, the game will finally let us go back into actually doing our speed run. Again, it's been annoying how much the game likes to railroad you into stuff like this, but oh well. Yeah, I should mention, if you're wondering about this music, each era besides Vintage Japan and Modern America and the Modern Age have like their own little theme songs for like the first stage. Just something like thematically appropriate. Like in this case, you got like some Old West song called Nothing to Worry About. They're fine. I mean, they're definitely not the best songs in the game, but they're fine. Alright. Should be finishing up soon. Just 1 minute left. Yeah, for any folks who's here yesterday, I was playing Easy Delivery Co. for the first time. I just finished it, and well, I got 2 of the endings, but I think I may have basically run into whoop. Controls got a little weird there. Probably because of the campfire. I think I ran into what may or may not be a little thing, is that there's like basically a point of no return, I want to say, when we got past to the factory, so I'm not sure we can like do any more jobs or anything at that point, so we may or may not be able to actually finish up that point. We may or may not be able to like get the 3rd ending in the same video. I probably should have mentioned that in the VOD, in like the not the VOD, the YouTube video I posted. But we'll get to, but you know, it's fine if we have to miss out on that. Because endings were pretty small in general. Like, the second ending was just basically, like, literally nothing, as just literally just shutting down the game, more or less. There we go. And yeah, get, like, some new little Katamari balls if you do good in them, but good news is that we can finally move on now. And they're gonna go into the Jurassic era. Or just, you know, the Age of Dinosaurs, wherever. You can go with either one. Whichever one you like to call it. Yeah, for first job today, we're gonna go roll up a lot of dinosaurs. And all sorts of other weird old-timey animals. These old-timey animals are really cool, I gotta say. Yeah, you know, coelacanths, dinosaurs, all sorts of good all those old dinosaurs. Alright, first thing off, we're just using our magnet to try and grab a bunch of eggs as well. There's also these weird dinosaurs and such. Some big bugs. Yeah, those big bugs who are so big because there's a lot of oxygen in the air. And then that little cutaway did see the 1 crown we're going to be getting for this area on that T-Rex's head. So we're going to get a bit bigger. Got a lot of little guys here. Oh. Okay, that guy looked a lot smaller from behind than from the front. I say as I go running into him once again. Get some baby Patchies in our Katamari. And now we're gonna go up here to where the present is. Yep, right up here we're gonna be able to roll up along this T-Rex's back and grab ourselves a present. Not quite big enough to grab the boy. Okay, there we go. Oh, and we're gonna want to be a little careful going up here. There we go. That's our present, and now we can go wild with the magnets, of course. Oh, got a little bit stuck there, not great, but it's fine. We got plenty of dinosaurs to grab. Yeah, Easy Delivery Co. was definitely a fun little game. Shame it does seem like there's a point of no return I accidentally wandered into. You know, I just can't go, like, drive around forever and just do my chill deliveries. Because there are definitely a lot of still secrets in that game, like with the blind bags, getting cosmetics, some snow cats which you can find out in bound towns, get little bobbleheads. All sorts of fun little things in that game. Alright, we do want to find one more magnet, which I think is... There it is. Right up there. You're making sure to grab as many small dinosaurs as you can so you can finish the stage run so you're ready. There we go. Yeah, imagine a lot of you are kind of busy watching GDQ as well. And also RPG Limit Break is doing its own little showcase. I was watching a bit of that before it started, where I was watching G-Horse play Look Outside. And I got to see one of those that's never happened before moments as he tries to kill a guy, he makes Sam panic by staring at him. And as a result, he gets killed instead of being able to try and use his insta-kill attack. But yeah, I'm not going to spoil it if you want to go watch it yourself later on. Of course, because we're here to watch me right now. You're here to watch a little guy read all stuff like dinosaurs and stuff throughout prehistory and all that, right? And history in general. And we've got Egg Planet. And meanwhile, the Queen of Cons are going to deal with Tyrannosaurus Dinosaur, but we're a little busy for that. Yeah, now we're going to start skipping some certain stages like that one over there, which is the generic 50 objects one. Right now, we got to go and fish swimming in a lake, so let's get going. But yeah, this is basically the lake mission from We Love Katamari as well, but now it's prehistoric. Oh, I accidentally did a charge roll there. It's sometimes easy to do that when you're like clicking wildly. The thing that I should mention as well is that see those bone hooks there? If we grab them, we get picked up for a bit, and we have to like wriggle out of them. There is a crab up here with a crown we want to grab. So you do have to be careful with the magnets, because you can't actually grab the bone hook and it pulls you up, even though you're like magnetizing it out of where it's supposed to be. Yeah, I know there's like one crown that moves around the stage, one that's kind of on the middle-ish island, I want to say. Oh, there's the crown right there. Come over here, fishy. There we go. Whoop. Got launched a bit. Yeah, sometimes the movement in this game can be a little bit weird. When that power-up there is one we really don't want to grab. It's a sonar power-up, which is nice for finding collectibles, but unfortunately also slows. It lasts a while, and when you have a power-up, you can't collect another one. So we kind of want to avoid grabbing that power-up because it'll just clog up our inventory and just take forever to use. Oh, and you also picked up Marnie, or glugged him up, as King says, because here he's just talking to all glugs and stuff. Because, you know, underwater and all that. And here's crown number 3. And we should be hitting our goal in just a sec. There we go. Oh, went a little too far. Went from the pause menu to the options menu. But yeah, that's Jurassic period taken care of, so let's head on forward. But yeah, if I am doing an actual speedrun, I would have like either a webcam or my PNG tube up, but right now, I want to make room for the live split right now, so I figured that'd be more important than this. And yeah, here's King's talking about challenges, which is basically where if you replay stage and get enough of an object to get more of those King tokens he's been giving us. Which are basically things like assuming death expressions, but now reaching as large as possible 2 now, which as you guess is basically an as large as possible stage taking place in vintage Japan. Yep, let's roll here, King. And you can already see one of the crowns you want to get over there. Getting a little bit caught up on stuff, but we're gonna do fine. King's apparently claiming that food, large useless while food is life. Well, later on we're gonna grab a ton of roses, so you know. We'll see if he really means that. Yep, there's our first crown. And yeah, this is where I definitely want to go get big. Like some delicious fried shrimps. Ooh, rocket, nice. Yeah, I know some stuff actually disappears to get too big, so good thing we grabbed that rocket when we did. We're just gonna head out here before we go using that rocket, because I'm gonna use it right now. There we go. There's Crown 2 for the stage. Alright, and up here is where we really want to get, because this is where we're going to get really big real quickly. But the physics in this game are a bit different than other games, and like how big you can get. Like, you want to grab a lot of small objects quickly in this one, is what I've seen. And I think we should be big enough to grab these. There we go. That easily gave us like 10 centimeters in a second or two. Still need a little bit more though. So we want to go around here and go right here. This should get us the last stuff that we need. There we go. Oh. There we go. For some reason it was only me skip out right away. I guess you had to listen to the king chatter a bit. He really loves to talk a lot. I'm sure a lot of people wish there was like an option to shut him up for a bit. Just like to turn off his chatter. But, you know, the king's kind of like Bubsy. You can't shut him up. Well, I mean, you say that, but there are options in games that let you do that. Including the upcoming Bubsy 4D. Honestly, it's kind of wild they keep trying to bring Bubsy back, but this time maybe it'll work. Meanwhile, the king's gonna go watch some Kabuki play and cause a tornado with a cool Kabuki wig. Hang on, King's Dragon is the way to go check this thing out. Basically, we're playing Katamari Ball Online, basically. But we're not interested. We got speedrunning to do. Oh, not sure what brought us here, but let's get back to where we're supposed to go. Yeah, that's weird why it's being a little iffy there. Okay, guess you have to go here to actually get to that stage as opposed to going to that. I'm used to it from when I've beaten the game. Anyway, how about it's time we go to a nice banquet. Yep, this one here is basically the sumo station we love Katamari. Where basically instead of a Katamari, you got a person who got to roll around and fatten up by picking up food. Yeah, we're trying to get this kid big enough so he can put on a cool piece of armor. And maybe eat some guests for this big party while he's at it, you know. Just royalty things from what I've heard. This is definitely a pretty cool song. Very mix of old school and modern tunes. Yeah, big thing about this mission is because we're rolling around a person there, they start out shaped pretty awkwardly, just being a lot taller than circular. But you know, we'll round them out a bit. Just by stealing everyone's food and everything. But yeah, I think the first crowns are going to be outside. Or at least one of them is. Yeah, again, I am a little bit fuzzy and worse than the crowns are because it's been a while since I did my first playthrough, which and crowns only show up the first time you go look, first time you pick them up. But he'll make it work. And yeah, we're just gonna have the kid grab some malted rice drinks. Again, totally not alcohol. He'll be fine. Even though he's called the Noble Youngster, which implies he's like a kid. And yeah, maybe see now we can go up to the roof now. But we'll get up there in a bit. Oh, there's first crown on this guy's head. Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly where the first crown is. Should be somewhere down here, given that we had like the little Because this is the second crown, so I imagine it's being here somewhere. Oh, actually, I have an idea. Okay, not there. Thought it'd be there? Maybe it is outside. I forget exactly, but... Again, it's been a while to like every single crown, so I don't remember exactly where all they are. Oh, there's the third crown now. Right in this big old Sachinoko, wherever they're called. Now, we should be quickly able to find it down here, right? Oh, there it is. Now I just grab the armor and complete. Probably gonna need a few refittings, but I think he's tall enough to wear it at least. Wide enough? Yes, maybe a bit too wide, but you know, he'll be fine. But now how's everyone not feeling about a little bit of piracy? Because we're about to enter the Age of Sail, also known as the 1600s, I want to say, you know, the Age of Pirates. I'm pretty sure it's like the 1600s. That's the one I'm most associated with it, because you ever remember like Sid Meier's Pirates? I remember playing a bit of that back in the day, like the newer version, the remake. Or Voyage of Sea, as they call this era. But yeah, I think that took place in like the 1600s and like the colonies. But yep, our first mission is right over here with little Captain Blackbeard here. With as large as possible sheet, the sea one. Yeah, this mission's actually kind of interesting if you haven't seen it before, because this mission's actually like the first Katamari mission where we're actually branching pathways as to where you can go. And don't mind the king, he's just getting a bit sleepy because of the rocking of the ship. And the nice salty air, you know. Definitely a nice thing, I'd imagine. But yeah, when you get to 50 centimeters, you'll have a little cutscene where like a little octopus starts running around the ship. And I'm starting to realize I think I'm supposed to save the magnet from the last stage for this one. But we can make this work. Yeah, this music is definitely very, like, adventure-coded. Definitely makes you feel like you're going on a big adventure at sea. The song's name is Time to Yosoro. I'm not sure what Yosoro means, of course, but... I'm just a dumb American, but, you know. I'm sure it has something to adventure or something like that. Or, you know, someone in chat can tell me. Right, now I can definitely start getting some stuff up here. We're gonna save our magnet for a bit, so we can get to the 50 centimeters, to start getting stuff quickly over at that point. This should be enough right here. There we go. So yeah, little baby octopus is going to start running around as the king says, you predict catastrophe if rolled up. If you roll it up, the game goes down a different route where a giant kraken attacks a ship and sinks it, and we all go sink into the like some undersea path. But instead, we get attacked by ghost pirates. Yeah, each route has each route has a crown, so we can only get 2 crowns maximum in a single playthrough. And right, there's one right here. Yeah, it's definitely cool seeing this kind of thing like that in a Katamari game where you suddenly can have like 2 different routes to go through. Definitely encourages like some replay of the stage to see how they can get each route. And the second/third crown should be up here somewhere. Yeah, pretty sure it's up in this area. There we go. Right on top of that treasure chest. We will grab that in just a sec. Yeah, I think I was supposed to spend a bit more time getting bigger before we head up here, but that's fine. Pardon me, samurai armor. Not sure even how you got up down here, because this is the Caribbean, not... Oh well, we'll just use the thing to grab it right now. We're wasting too much time. There we go. Yeah, wasting too much time trying to grab that crown off there. Oh, me forgetting to use my splits again. That's fine. We're only focusing on the main timer here. There we go. Meanwhile, the Queen and the Cuts are going to encounter the Kraken on their own. But we're not watching them. We're busy doing some cleaning and all that. Background music unlocked. Time to yo. But now for this mission, we gotta collect lots of wood for these pirates to help them build a new ship, because they've got shipwrecked on Skull Island. I always hate when that happens. And this song is a cute one, Skyscrapers. If you've seen the music video for it on the mixtape, I can basically describe it as scoops of ice cream in love. Another one of those very cute ones you should check out of the songs on here. Went a little too far. I think we mainly wanted to stay over here and grab this help message they've built. But I did want to get a little bit bigger. And I think that crown on the sea turtle over there is not one we're going to be getting. Alright. Now we're getting a bit bigger so we can start looking around to try and get our size and also some wood. Oh right, can't forget this big bale of rice. That gives us a lot of size as well. Also, this is kind of funny. These parts here where you're building a big campfire and you can see poor Natsuo in the cave over there. Like they're playing on cooking and eating him. I mean, roasted peanuts do sound pretty tasty compared to what else they could be cooking and eating, so can't blame them for that. Yeah, definitely better to eat a peanut than cannibalism, I suppose. And right there's crown number 1 over at this little thing here. Most I'd like to see are the lion's shaking fear these cows have cannons on their back with the no stealing cows sign. When they said no stealing cows, they really mean it. Yeah, they'll only be punished with extreme prejudice. Yeah, like with a lot of these stages, getting big is also like a side goal in this one, because that lets you get a lot of wood very easily. So we're gonna head up here. We've got a few bushes up here which also count. Yeah, for some reason these little bongo drums, the red drums, just give a lot of size for how big they are. Yeah, where is the second crown here? Okay, let's just quickly try and find a second crown. I kind of forget where I'm blanking out on this right in my first run. Is it this one? Maybe it is this one. Okay, no it isn't. Can't even grab that guy. Yank it off his head. I feel like it's supposed to be at the top of the island somewhere, but... Oh, there it is, on those Jiso statues. Completely missed them. But now we can end the stage, which also gives us a little cutscene of their boat being made. In this case, just some dingy little raft. Which I think the game says has a capacity of 1. Yep, fits 1 person. Not really a ship, more like a desperate attempt of escape. But, you know. For the Hammering Nails planet. Interesting name for a planet, but what do I know? But guess what? We're all fired up, so on to the next era. Next up, we're moving on to Ancient Greece. Delicious and greasy. Oh wait, not that kind of grease? But as you can see, there's our guy over there. Old Mr. Socrates himself. He wants to have a big debate, but he needs all his friends with him, so we've got to go roll up all of these philosophers. How the stage works is that we've got 8 philosophers. Here's what we gotta grab. 7 of them will spawn at first, and we gotta get the last one. Once you get those 7, the last one will spawn. And I realized I shouldn't have been carrying on to the rocket for that long, because then I can't grab the thing. Because I couldn't grab the magnet. Again, this is why we're doing practice, so we can learn techniques, do the do's and don'ts of rolling a Katamari. But we want to get all 3 of the crowns here. And here's Mr. Plato himself. Along with Homer, watching a play. Crown number 1. And I think guy number 2 is in this market somewhere. Oh, there's one guy here. Kale's just enjoying a nice bath in the fountain, as you do. As opposed to the big public bathhouse. Oh, okay, that's not going to be good. We lost a bit of time there, because the next crown is up here. Up on the scaffold. There we go, we found it. And right, one of the guys is up here. Aristotle. And I think the next one is over at the bathhouse area. Next crown, I mean. Just a bunch of guys take Joe not in the bath. There he is. Archimedes just running around waving a crown in the air. Next I see, oh, pardon me, Minotaur. We have Heraclitus over here, just chilling. And this is Pythagoras. He's a lover of wisdom, don't you know? Okay, now where is the last one? The last crown, I mean. I thought it was in the market area, but I can't remember exactly. Yeah, again, it has been a while since I played this looking for crowns, so... I'm not... So, you know, this is going to be a bit of a remembering trick as well. Well, you know, if I was trying to go to grab those flower things, this would be a good run, because I can... Because you have to get to, like, 3 meters 40 for those. Which is one of those missions where you have to base roll up everything. Yeah, okay, it was in that Moai statue. I see now. Okay, again, not a good run for this mission, but we're learning again. And I just get past the sumo and right, it's Goliath himself. And we got Socrates. Just in time for his delicious hemlock tea. Don't drink it, please. But yeah, that definitely could have gone better, but... Again, this is like our first run, so we're gonna just try and figure things out as we go along. I don't know why that planet looks oddly futuristic for like ancient Greek planet. And the Queen visits Rome. If I remember correctly, she tries to make some statue, but causes a bit of a mishap. And instead of going to light the sacred fire, we're gonna collect a whole bunch of roses. Y'all remember that 1 million roses mission from We Love Katamari? This time we're just collecting way less than that, luckily, in a short time span. This is a very nice song note. San Francisco Choir Katamari Boys Chorus song. Just basically a big, nice choir song sung by the San Francisco Choir Boys. The sun and the night are shining. The clouds in the sky are smiling. They are very kind to us and always forgive us. Ooh, magnet, nice. And I think we got the crown there. Good. Trying to go for all 3 rounds in this stage. But yeah, I gotta imagine how awesome it is just be like in a choir and just have they suddenly have Bandai Namco say, "Hey kids, wanna help us make a new song?" Oh, there's a crown. And yeah, that little question is just where a bunch of angels show up because they're attracted by that lovely singing. I mean, she is singing a Katamari theme, so, you know, obviously it's gonna be good music. We really want to grab these, like, flower princes and princesses because they give a ton of roses. And I thought the third one was up here, but I guess I was wrong. There are also a lot of magnets here, so I want to save one of these up for next stage. Okay, not here. I thought it was here. Oh, well, at least you got a little more time to enjoy the choir music. Yes, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think sometimes just got them because I had, like, the magnet going, and it just, like, picked them up while I was zooming around. Because it's very fun to just grab the magnet, have everything nearby just get pulled in. Was it in here? Yeah, I could have sworn it was up in this area. Where is it? Oh, what the? The game froze and the controller's vibrating. Oh, and it crashed. Okay, so I guess that run just died for crash for some reason. That was weird. First time I've had the Once Upon a Katamari crash on me, actually. That is weird. Alright. And I actually did reset instead of pause, so whoops. Oh well, so we're gonna just kind of start from there, just go through every stage, trying to remember where the crowns are. And then we'll do another run of this. Hopefully that one won't crash. Because, yeah, I don't know what happened. That's weird. Again, first time I've had the game crash on me. I've had a few soft locks, or like when the game does like the size of the game suddenly, or like when I have little cutscenes go, when it ends I'm just not able to move at all, but, or like even have the timer going, but first time that's happened. Alright, so let's just do a quick run through, just trying to remember where all the crowns are that we need. Let me actually get the live split up just so I can... Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm just gonna zoom through there to like scroll through there so I can remember what stages, how many crowns you need for each stage. But yeah, now we're officially in the run glitched, so we're just playing around part. Yeah, still no clue what that happens. Real shame. You know, my run wasn't going... Oh, I see it now. It's in the water here. This Kappa had it. Okay, there we go. Gotta remember that one. That's a bit of a tricky one. Definitely one of those come up here when you have the magnet roll going rounds. Just so you don't have to rely on the luck of that they're not going to be there. Okay. Yeah, I don't hear the full thing, but she is just doing the whole na 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 from the Katamari song, of course. And why wouldn't she? I mean, singing the Katamari theme is definitely gonna get the angels interested in you. In a good way, of course. And right, third crown was down here. Yeah, sadly this is one of those missions where I can't really roll up things not related to the goal, which sucks. Because I always like just being able to roll up random things in this lovely Katamari. Just imagine giving the woman you want just a whole ball of roses in there. It's just like some random children and stuff in there. And she just asks that, like, are you trying to say something? That I love you? There we go, this is where we should have stopped earlier. But yeah, probably gonna try two or three runs of the game today, just to see how we can do for time. And I'll definitely get, like, practice off stream as well. And next up, we're gonna head back to Japan once again. And this time it's time to go enjoy a festival, how about? This time with some Kochi no Kento playing. One of the few Japanese artists I actually recognized when I saw, like, the mixtape. He's actually like the first of the mixtapes shown off, which is pretty cool. Right, we need 3 here. And you can see Cousin Tomoko hanging out right there, just doing a fun little dance. I mean, this is a lovely song to dance to. Eja Eja Naika. The game started for a bit, I got panicked for a second that I was gonna crash again. I still no clue why that happened. I know where the last crown is, but I can't forget where the first 2 are, but... we can figure that out, I'm pretty sure. Again, this might be practice, it might not be like the submission video. I mean, it already isn't because it crashed, but... I'll have to figure out when I'm gonna officially do my submission video, but... for now, this one isn't gonna be it. Alright, I think the first one is over here somewhere, the first crown. Okay, I thought it was, but I guess it's in another place. Oh, and the king's just lecturing us there because we let that thing get up so it'd run off. Okay, there it is, right up here in this bug cage. And I guess there was one in the house that we missed. Oh, well. Again, we're not doing like an official run that we're gonna submit, so this is just practice right now. Thanks to that crash. And at this point, I thought it's still in the house anyway, since we've gone up like 2 areas at this point, since we had access to the house. It's fun just being able to go back into the house and just like steal the guy's stuff. As well as the guy himself, of course. That's always fun. That's the Katamari moment there. You know, it's just getting the ducks riding around at potties around town. As you do. Complete with the cool biker flag. Yeah, to get the third one, we want to get to meter 50 so we can access the last area here. And yeah, the cutscene only activates when the time power stops as well. That is something to keep in mind. Alright, let's grab a bit of size. I'm not sure how big we need to get in order to get that item. Yeah, I feel like for some reason this game is a lot easier to accidentally do a quick turn for some reason. I don't know why, it just is. Yeah, there's the last crown, as you can see, but I'm not sure if we're big enough for it. Okay, not yet. That is something to remember for the run. Yeah, the game doesn't like list the size for the crowns and such, so we're just gonna have to like eyeball it. Or rather just like, you know, try and get big enough to grab it occasionally. Like, let's try now. Okay, there we go at it. Like around 2 meters 30, I'd want to say. But yeah, we do need more crowns since we missed one in the stage, so... And again, since this isn't the official run, we're gonna go back a bit and just do some, maybe try and get some from the dinosaur stage, because there are a lot of crowns in that one. Got like 2 spare crowns in that stage we can grab. Oh, we can go to the yokai stage now, so let's go do that for now. Yeah, this stage is all about grabbing ghosties. Grabbing the ghoulies and all that. I'm not sure if yokai officially do count as ghosts and all that, but... Alright, I thought that we were gonna head down if we head that way, but... Gonna grab some, like, kid ghosts, some kid yokai here. Alright. And grab this evil Jesus statue just watching a guy wash some beans. Not a euphemism. That's what that ghost does for some reason. Yokai can be weird sometimes. And this is a song that was done by the guy who did Disco Prince and the Moon and the Prince as well, I should mention. They can even got the stage that gets dark on the scrum or will-o-wisp, just brighten things up a bit. Yeah, I think the second crown is up here, or third crown. Yes, stage is pretty easy if you just use the, Oh right, the crown is up here. Okay, I thought that's where the present was. Now let's find that second crown real quick. Pretty sure it's around here somewhere. Not by the yokai hair salon. I'm pretty sure it's being carried by one of those, like, paper-thin ghosts. Not these ones. Okay. Okay, no, they aren't being carried by that. Maybe it is up at the main area, actually, just like you have to get big to reach it. Let's go see. Oh. You. Oh. Yes. Yeah, I'm not sure it is then. Again, I tried watching like a lot of those videos, but I can't remember everything in them. Oh, there it is, right up here. Okay, that was easy. I mean, of course, not that was easy, just like, that was a lot less complex than it should have been. Alright, for this next mission, assuming we don't have to get more crown, this should be where we got our next, this should we both got our spare crown that we missed. We move on to the Stone Age. You know, Jurassic Age, but with more people, less dinosaurs. Alright, Unga Bunga and all that. I'm very curious what that Stone Age advertisement is supposed to be about the Crying Haniwa. They'll never get, like, big enough to actually go to that, to grab any of those in that era, I think, so who knows. Yeah, this is kind of like Campfire Night, gotta get it big and then put it somewhere. And also, in fact, they can't grab people because just set their butts on fire. Which is funny but a shame, because I want to be able to roll people off my clay ball and throw them in an oven. I mean, who doesn't? That's just, you know, that's the vibe I'm bringing. It's 2016. Just a vibe of rage and wanting to cook stuff. Pardon me, dog. Yeah, like those little armadillo bowling balls are using, you can't roll them up, unfortunately. And you'll see the same thing after we try and roll up like the people doing their farming, whatever. Or any of these cavemen. Alright, let's find 2 crowns here, because we need to get 2 because we missed one. Oh, present. Didn't know there was see that there. Also, in a little area there is Clay dancing around there, another new cousin. Oh, there's a crown. Yeah, now we're just making people run away when we touch them because we're on fire. Okay, that one's a bit of a bigger one to grab then. Okay, probably not the one you're supposed to grab in our run. But we might need to grab it because again we missed out on the 1 crown last time. Oh, there's where the first crown is, in the fridge. Then again, given the size, I'm not sure I was supposed to be able to grab it. And then again, I guess I could use like a magnet to grab it. That makes sense. And I imagine the third one is up on top of the mammoth, I want to say. Perfect timing. Thanks, bud. Or not. Okay. Yeah, again, this first run is just like an experimenting run, just trying to figure out where stuff is. And trying to remember all the tactics and details we need to use. Okay, where is this third round then? It's not actually in one of these houses, despite what I was personally thinking. Not in here, no. Yeah, that thing requires to be pretty big to grab it. The fridge, I mean. So it definitely feels like we're supposed to use the old magnet to grab it. Oh well. Okay, now we have our spare crown for completing this run. And we made a way too fancy Haniwa. Supposed to be one of the most like Norn, I think, or Fumin for the D rank, but instead we got a king statue for the S rank. Oh well. Looks fabulous though, as the game says, so can't be too mad. And Queen goes to buy some jewelry, but accidentally causes the rain-filled volcano to erupt. Yeah, to clarify rain-filled, because, you know, she's not killing anyone, just causing it to rain. She had to buy some of those big old, you know, the big stone circles that they use for money in some places. And now just gotta dig a hole by just tearing up the ground here. I will say it's probably one of my less favorite songs on track. I mean, I do like the sort of Francis style singing, but I don't know, just something about it doesn't really fit too much. Plus, I imagine the fact that it's called Katamari Damacy is more than a little confusing for some folks. Yeah, I just say Katamari Damacy and people say, the game or the song? And yeah, I don't want to use the... Don't want to have that because it's not super important. Yeah, this one just basically gotta pick up the pieces of the chunks of ground. There we go. Got our first crown in the ground. Now we can head to the next area. With Mr. Mole's gonna do some digging for us. Alright, here we are, part 2. Yeah, this is where the second crown is, I'm pretty sure. Of course, the issue is just picking up all the dirt to find it. Oh, found it. And here we go, we dug all successfully. Basement's a little full of dirt, but they'll be fine. Oh, and Dovey Button, thanks for the follow, actually. I have alerts and stuff off because I'm doing I was gonna do some speedrunning recordings today, potentially, so... Didn't want that popping up mid-stream. Especially someone had a rude name up or something. Yours is fine now, of course. But yeah, welcome on in. Anyway, now time to head on over to Egypt. Yeah, gonna try like our first official recording in a bit. Well, I say like I'm not recording this because I do that with all my streams, but you know, like the first official, like I'll cut this and put it in the speedrun video one. Here we are in good old Egypt. First time to do one of the few missions in Katamari Forever that was actually an original one. Watering the desert. In this one, our Katamari just basically spreads water around instead of rolling things up. And we gotta use that to help water up as much of the sand as possible. Alright. Pretty sure one of the crowns is over here. Or some... Okay, not there, but... Yeah, I thought one of these gives us a crown. Oh. Well, I saw one on the wall, but I think I was looking at... Okay, there's a crown there. Just took a second to fall down, I guess. Yeah, up here's where we should find our last crown. Well, it's because of Audio just chilling. Stuck in a little sand... In the sand version of a snowman. Alright, there's Crown 1. And Crown 2 should be around here somewhere as well. I think it's on like one of the animals you can eat that pop out. I think? Yeah, no, the second one I think requires one of the animals that pops up out of the ground when you spray enough water around. I think. Oh, gotta rehydrate there. Hey, where is that third crown? And yeah, again, we're not doing like a live spit because this crashed halfway through, so we're not gonna... We're just kind of calling this run a can't run. Now we're just like playing the game again quickly for practice. Yeah, where is that second crown? Yeah, no, there's third crown is like over here, I want to say, so... Second crown should be like too far in the stage. Maybe one of those things gives it. I think it hit like those weird little blob-looking things that causes stuff to pop up out of the ground. I want to say. Maybe just the trees is what makes them what popped up if you hit those. This is a pretty funky remix of like some generic Egypt music, though, I gotta say. Yeah, where is that crown? Yeah, one of the desert is I marked down as having 3 crowns to grab, so I do not know where the last one is. I feel like I grabbed everything but that last one crown we need. And no, I can't roll anything up in the stage unless you count the one cousin and the crowns. Actually, hang on. Yeah, I was testing just to see if that area had the crown. Little area popped out of when you fall. Okay, I'm not sure it is then. Oh, there it is. It is on an ostrich up here then. Okay. Anyway, have your water, Guyness Camel. Way more than I meant to give you guys, but you'll be fine. I could have sworn it was supposed to like spawn an animal, but it just didn't spawn until like the very end. And yeah, just gonna skip a cutscene where the queen tears it down in a pyramid. And tears the pyramid down as well. Has a little too much fun with the dance thing, you know how it is. Now for rolling up mummies. Get exactly where all the crowns are, but I know one is being carried around by good old Medjed. Our favorite weird mummy who's just like a weird... Just like a goat bedsheet mummy with legs. Yeah, this stage is basically just trying to grab all these mummies that have woken up because some jerks people tried to rob their tomb and now they're not going to go back to sleep. And one mummy is pretty annoyed about that because his friends are all too noisy. Oh. Got stuck behind here, we're fine. And I do love the scream of "Mummy!" when you roll them up. It's like, what is this thing? Mummy! Very good. Oh, there goes Medjed. The sneaky little goober. Oh, and there's one crown. Should be, there he is. There, everyone's favorite weird little just guy who's just a one of those good old weird mummies. These weird gods. I'd appreciate those weird gods, you know? And there's the last crown here. Where is that last mummy we gotta find? Oh, there he is. In the main area. Got him. And we've got our own very little Medjed as an accessory. I still love that. Shame I have to permanently wear it or the bunny ears, like after 100% completion. Because I'd totally wear both if I could. And anyway, time to back to Ito to go watch some fireworks. And draw a bit more, of course. But yeah, this is make as large as possible before. We're finally gonna get to roll buildings. Well, technically we could if we had done good in the pirate mission, in the wood, lots of wood mission. I thought one of those monkeys had the crown, but I might think of a different mission. Oh, right, here's the crown right here. That's the easy one. And Cousin Lucky doing a little dance on top of this giant mochi. Another new cousin here in this game. Alright, new area unlocked, good. Just try and grab a bit of stuff here before we head out into the new area. Yeah, if you go in that, I actually didn't realize the little dog in that thing there is actually like an actual real-life art thing from an artist. I forget their exact full name, but it's Rosetsu's dog or something is what the dog is. He's a cute little fella. He sits funny. And that's very cute when dogs do that, isn't it? Dogs just sitting all funny with their leggies sticking out. Alright, and I remember this area's a bit hard to get through because that giant shrimp. Yeah, where is the second crown in this area? These goldfish Nebuda are pretty good in terms of size. Oh, it's right here. Okay, that's where the crown is. This is very big as all. Yeah, first attempt definitely had some rough spots, but we're gonna try and iron them out by the time we do our V run. Also, watch out for those Sachinokos, guys. Those things are big. Don't want to beam someone in the head with that thing. And as usual, it's the goal of practice going to Olair and grabbing everything it couldn't there. Like all the food, the kids, people, everything, all the good stuff. Okay, the doggo's safe. And there's second crown out of 2 we want to get here. Okay, third area here. We don't need the crown here, so we're going to not crown at least. Right, we're in this little restaurant they're having. And let's get moving. Now we can add to a new area. Oh, is there a magnet down there? Thought there was. Okay, guess not. Yeah, I can just try and remember like the best route for everything. Because I couldn't remember like all those videos that I was watching. Ooh, this would be good. Just gonna get out of this area and then we can really get to using this. Alright, here we go. Yeah, for some of the little people you can roll are actually worth pretty good for your Katamari size, as compared to usual, I feel like. Now let's quickly head over to the farm area to get the last size we need. Or other way, these should do pretty nicely. Yeah, hedge maze should do pretty good for a size. And this should get us to 12 meters right here with these walls and such, if we don't get stuck. There we go. Alright, good. We've only got 5 stages left I want to save for this run, and then we'll be ready, and we'll be able to do another try. Hopefully one where the recording or the game doesn't crap out all of a sudden, but we'll hope that won't happen. Nice. Yeah, Kings can try and do some fireworks, but they sadly don't work because he throws them a bit too high where there's no air. And now time to play some Robin Hood, or whatever the Japanese version of Robin Hood is. I don't know his name specifically. Yeah, for a second I forgot that pressing start doesn't cause the, doesn't skip the King's text. You have to actually smash through it. And you get a bit more Kochi no Kento, luckily. It's one of my more favorite songs in the game, I want to say. Right, where is the first thing we want to grab? First crown, that is. Oop. I thought it was up here. And again, doing a run like this is helping me remember stuff for the next run. Okay, maybe it's not up here. Okay. I'm gonna check one more area and then we'll head down. Okay, yeah, it isn't in this area, I guess. So let's head on down. Big thing we don't need here is just go into the secret room. As that's gonna give us a lot of size and money. We do need a certain amount of money to finish the mission up as well. Plus there's a crown here as well, so that's gonna be important. Give it over. Oh, we didn't have the cut. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's the cutscene. Yeah, it's gonna say there's supposed to be a little cutscene where like the guards start chasing after the thieves. But didn't prop till later for some reason. Right, forget where the crown we want is here, because there's like 2 crowns in this area, I think. But first we want to hit the switch. There's that open place with a whole bunch of money. Okay, there's one of the crowns. I think that's the crown we're looking to get. And I'm using this timer here so that we don't have to worry about things popping up as we're rolling through here. And here's the storehouse with a whole bunch of money for us. Yeah, Nezumi Kozo, that's the guy I was thinking of. Who sadly doesn't get his own unique sprite, I think. I think it looks a little bit different compared to the other guys, but not too much different. Well, I suppose if we were trying to thief, you'd probably want to just try and go with an incognito outfit that would make you look the same as the other guys. I don't know, maybe I just don't know him enough. Anyway, there's our money. And we're gonna get a brief setting of the Dread Cowper mission, but we're not going there. Instead, we're going to the Ice Age. Off we go. Yep, the second to last of the eras in this game. And one of the few that really didn't get that many eras in there, stages in there, because there's 2 stages, and then there's the stage where you basically only unlock once you've gotten all the cousins. Which is a bit of a shame. Would have liked to see more of these stages explored. More of these eras explored, I guess. Alright. And right, for this one you actually have to click to go, as opposed to just grabbing something and upsetting the king. Which is always funny to do, don't get me wrong. And I do gotta say, the theme song for the Ice Age is pretty funky. Not sure what genre you'd specifically call it. And there's Cousin Nagermo back there. We had a bit of a name change since the first time we saw him, I remember more correctly. Right, so which cave was it that had the crown in there? Not this one? Oh, I see it now. This one here. Yeah, we just have to roll enough and then we can go grab the, Then we can go grab the Yeti and let him know his house cleaning is done. There we go. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be fine with this, just like, not even half the icicle's gone. Not like he's gonna get impaled in his sleep by a falling icicle or anything, right? He'll be fine, he's built the tough stuff. Next up, we're gonna do a stage we've kind of missed out on doing twice before. The perfect size stage. We have to, like, get a certain size without knowing exactly how big we're supposed to get. We've had one in the pirate stage where we have to go like 25 centimeters. One in ancient Egypt where we have to get to 2 meters, but this is the first. This is going to be the large version of that mission. So here we just want to focus on getting it big so we can then roll up the all 3 of the crowns here. As you can see, there's one right here, but we're not big enough for it. So we're gonna go grab some people around here while we're running around. The monkeys. This guy who beat up a mammoth apparently is he. And the snowman, aka Cousin Sherman. And you can see King Kong running around with the present there. I forget exactly where the third crown is in this stage. Not quite up here, I think. Right, I think it might be one of the Sasquatches or something that gets pulled out of a hole. Yep, it is. Okay. Now it's got the third crown and start mashing square to quit the stage. Shut up, you sound like a gorilla. King of all cosmos. And that's our third crown. Oh. Okay, yeah, since we're not the... It's clearly too small, the king's just like, dude, you're underestimating it. There we go. This is a funny thing, too, where if you just, like, say, okay, I'm done, right at the start, the king just gets annoyed at you, and he's just like, that's clearly too small, dude. Okay, so 8 meters is, like, the minimum to finish the stage. Good to know. But now we've officially gotten all the crowns we need, so we don't have to worry about those anymore. Yeah, the king just makes a little thing about, hey, thanks for finding all those crowns for us. Now time for what's technically the big finale stage, but, well, should be, but we have one more stage after this and then the official finale stage. And the song for this stage is Power of Katamari Damacy, sung by the guy who sang Katamari of Love, Katamari on the Swing, and, of course, and Shadow of Light, which is the song from the, from Katamari Forever. But yeah, very funky drive around in your car looking cool song here. And that's very much what happens if you watch the song for this, the music video for this song. Just King driving around, being his coolest. Not that he's already cool, but, you know, he's extra cool in that song. Let's go Cousin Shamba. I'm not sure what they're supposed to represent. If anything. And we do, of course, want this magnet here to be very helpful in this stage. Getting each other. I want to end almond chocolate. From the sky. Respect to make your imagination. Woo! Yeah, I remember this is like a stage you can do a really good technique if you really know how to use the dashes in this game, but it's something I'm still trying to pick up myself, so I don't think I'm going to do that specifically. Okay, so there's a magnet in that area, so we shouldn't have probably used it. Should probably use it to make things a bit easier over here, but oh well. Okay, yeah, for this part I want to grab all these because I know these are very good. Go around here, grab this magnet. And one more around here. Superstar! And I'm pretty sure we got a magnet bits, though. We're gonna use this one right here. I was just sort of eyeing that area up there where the power-up is. Gonna briefly interrupt Admiral Perry's little visit to Japan. Okay, so rocket, not a magnet. Whoops. I think there is one in the next area though, so we'll try and use that. Yeah, there's like some technique they use to get to like 20 to 60% or 80 very quickly that involve the magnet and just a very well-timed dash. And I'm not going to be able to do that this time, I think. Again, oh well, but he'll make it work, I suppose. But yeah, just one stage after this, and then we'll be in the big finale. Then we can try and do our live split run again. Alright. Get to a new area, and then we'll get working on trying to get this bigger. Yeah, I thought there was a Magnus area, but I might be thinking of the as fast as possible version of the stage. Because they do have slightly different, like, item layouts in those stages. Oh. I just run into a bug where the Katamari won't stop charging even though I'm not rolling. And then just, like, only lets go when it's fully charged. That's another annoying bug because it slows you down. I do like how some of these towns are smaller than these just big housing complexes. Just because of how the game size works with some of these things. Just find it kind of funny how that works in this world. Yeah, I think now we can officially make some good progress and go rolling back here. Grab like that big governor's house. Town we start out in. And just basically leveling this whole town here. There we go. Yeah, that's the whole town we've been rolling up. Which I just find funny is when just how the scaling works, so that way that whole town is only slightly smaller than that one building. Which tells me that I have a very strange definition of how big a town is supposed to be, or they've just built that house really, really big. Could be either case, or the complex. Alright, now we have access to 60 meters, which is going to be our final area here. Since we are not going to be going to go rolling up the king and all that, sadly. We really want to go grab the magnet over there as soon as we grab some stuff here. Oh, nice. Always like to have one of these just to get... because the game does feel a bit slower in my opinion, but that might just be me. And I remember the highway here tends to be really good size, but... we'll see if we can actually grab them, because they are kind of big compared to us this time around. We're going a little bit fast. Okay, now we can grab them. Good. There's our glow up in that mountain over there. It's the magnet. Oh, okay, didn't even notice that mammoth there. There we go. This will get us our 200 really quickly. There we go. Here's our 200. There's just 2 more stages left. We finally get to visit the final era, aka modern times. Which sadly is just like 2 food stalls and in the house in the first game. Again, I do wish we spent a little more time in the modern era, since Definitely are a lot of like modern objects that pop up that we never get to grab. Although, you know, you could argue that just means that we'd be playing a normal Katamari game, but oh well. And yeah, that cutscene, basically a big meteor wound up hitting the Cosmic Scroll, and we've got to plug it up by collecting some more Earth memories. By which I mean we go to visit one more era, play one more station, and we say, okay, we have enough now, let's go. But yep, this is the one stage we gotta do right here. We've gotta help give this kid a fried Katamari to eat. Time to route those fryers. Yeah, let's go. Base this one, we just gotta get to 15 centimeters. Not that big, and then we gotta put in the big pot, which is... I'm not sure exactly where it is. Okay, it's over this way, I want to say. We're only a little bit near it right now. But in order to get into that, we gotta get big enough first, so... Then just make a delicious Katamari with eggs, some shumai dumplings, strawberries, fish cakes, you know. Everything tasty to eat. Some chili peppers. That kid don't know what he's biting into. Garlic, Naruto, whatever that stuff is. That stuff I thought was called Naruto for a second, but isn't. Oh, and there's the last magnet, which we're going to use real quick. And here comes a child to get his taste buds destroyed. In it goes. Enjoy, child. Okay, now ready for the finale. In which you just roll up all the planets you picked up to plug up a hole in the giant Cosmos Scroll. Yeah, definitely not the best run, but it went alright, just in terms of like stuff that happens. Now, one stage I did get unlocked actually is interesting because that also got updated in 1.04 because of the one object being very hard to grab. And yep, for this final stage, we're going to roll the Earth itself. Just like an ending to We Love Katamari. Also, I think there's an update that made it so like the Stardust appeared more often, so people could actually get that one. And I do like the fact that this new version of the theme song just starts like slow, quiet, and muffled at first and gets louder. Just makes it feel a lot more epic for some reason. Space Cow. Yeah, I think in a few times you get in those scenes you can see like King actually launching something up into space, and that's why it's there. And yeah, big thing that's issue is also grabbing these meteorites, which are also important for size. The game should tell us when we have enough to grab this, to plug up the hole. Not quite yet. Nope. Some random sandal the King lost. And I'll grab this one just for good luck, and time will be when the hole is plugged. I'm pretty sure at that point the game's just basically like, okay, we're ready to do it now. And that's time, more or less. It's clearly too small for the hole, but... Hooray, we did it. Yeah, the King's talking about all the people saying thank you and stuff, and like how awesome Katamari Damacy is, but the world's saved. But yeah. Let's go reset at this run and try and see if we can do a bit better now. This was about 2 hours, I want to say. And yeah, sadly the ending minigame isn't nearly as good as it usually is, I gotta say. It's sad but true. But right, let's see. Okay, we can't actually load that data, it looks like. Let's see. So we're gonna quit the game and head back in, I want to say. Alright, I think I know we're supposed to get the, start like it normally does. We go to new game and then roll that up and then choose a file. Alright, I'm gonna go drink some water and do that before we start our second attempt. Alright, we're back. Let's try this again. But yeah, just in case you're doing this again, this is Once Upon a Katamari, and we're gonna try and do a speed run of it. Recently came out a few months ago, so let's go with this one. In 3, 2, 1, go. But yeah, Once Upon a Katamari came out like October last year, and it's the first new Katamari game for consoles in a good while. There technically is a second one that came out that year called Katamari Damacy Rolling Live, but unfortunately it's only available on Apple Arcade right now, which is a real shame, because I totally want to play that one. Even if Apple wants to keep it for themselves. But, oh well. Right now we're doing a tutorial stage, which is just, roll up stuff, make Katamari big, usual jazz, so you just learn how to play the game. And this new gun always just has a lot of good artists with the music. I'm not sure who would without the artist behind this song, Katamari na Dune, but it's still fun. But yeah, once you get big enough, you can head over this wall. Now you start learning some new tricks. Like dashing, turning, looking 1, looking 2. And the game's gonna introduce us to freebies here, which are basically power-ups. This one is a magnet, which, as you can guess, just sucks in nearby stuff. Very helpful. Oop. I'm getting knocked around by some stuff here. Whoops. I went a little too far here, so... Once it sends, we're gonna have Cosme show up, who's one of the new cousins. And we gotta go capture him. There we go, we got him. But yeah, now the king's getting bored, so he's given us the option to quit early instead of waiting 60 seconds, so we're gonna do that. Well done. And now, as usual, the king is gonna ruin everything. He finds the Cosmos Scroll, plays around with it for a while, throws it up way too high into the Earth, and winds up destroying it and a whole bunch of the Cosmos. So now I gotta roll through memories of Earth in order to save everything again. And here we are in our cool time machine / spaceship, the SS Prince. And we crash into the vintage era Japan, which I want to say is like the 1800s, I want to say. I'm no expert in Japanese history. But I do want to mention at this stage here is the one stage we can't actually just skip early, because normally when you get the goal, you can just like press the, you can press start and square to quit the stage early, but we can't do that here, so we're gonna have the full 4 minutes of the stage. That's fine. And yeah, right here, the king is introducing us an important thing for this progression in this game. In like the old games, all you had to do is just complete stages, but here you also have to complete stages and get a certain number of crowns in order to go to new areas. And also, don't mind that little cutscene. Now it's just like the guy sitting in his little... underneath that blanket, just heading outside. Yeah, basically we need to get like 60 crowns total in order to completely finish the game. So, yeah, big thing is about knowing what crowns you want to get and when. It's sure there are like 119 crowns in the game total, I want to say, but obviously if we go after all of them, the game will take too long, so we only want to grab certain ones in certain stages. Since we're kind of stuck in this stage, we're obviously going to grab all 3 in this one. Oh, and I keep forgetting about the split. That's fine. Yeah, I'm so used to not using splits when I'm playing, so I don't really remember to keep use after every stage. So let's get to... So let's go get the 3rd crown while we're here, which is right up here. Past these fancy masks. Good fortune in. Yep, here's the crown all the way up here. But yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only one to be able to play the Apple Arcade Katamari Damacy. Just, you know, it's a lot more modern era stages. Very fun. A lot of fun stuff. And also, it becomes a streamer in that game, which is very funny. It even has like a live chat commenting on stuff as you roll around, which is funny. And yeah, I did see the royal prison up in there. We're not going after those because we're not going for cosmetics. Even they would make the prince look nice. Because I have a slight vague idea that maybe they might make things go a little bit slower because they'll have to do the little animation of opening up the gift box during the results stage. I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm not like an expert on the very strong minute of the game. I'm an expert in the game, but not in that particular stuff. Yeah, this first song here, I forget exactly what the anime's name, but I think the one who did the song and did the ending music for that anime, it's like a remake of that anime, and it features like a woman, she's supposed to be an alien, but she wears like a leopard print bikini and thong, I think. Like, you know, 2-piece swimsuit, I want to say. I don't know the exact name of it, though, but I just remember that being what I heard about. That's the person who made this song. Yeah, I don't know all the musicians in this game, obviously, but I know at least, like, 4 of them, so... Well, 3 of them, plus the San Francisco Choir, which is... You know, I absolutely know where those folks come from, right? They come from, Kyoto, right? Right? But yeah, here we go. We got 1 minute left for the stage. Yeah, the game does have some minor differences, like... Dashing works a bit different in this one, I want to say. Like, it seems like you have less stamina. You can, like, short dash by pushing the L2 button here. And you can also just do, like, a full dash by... It's just, like, mashing a button or just, like, clicking sticks repeatedly. I'm used to using the sticks because that's obviously what I grew up with. I think I've got just about every one of the main Katamari games other than Rolling Live. But yeah, also I should mention, I'm holding on to that magnet right now because you can actually take items between stages with you. And that'll be very useful for getting a few things in a few places. Anyway, Royal Rainbow. Luckily, you can skip most of these stages in the stage, so we don't have to sit through the whole 3 minutes like we do this time. And of course, they make the king's favorite planet first. Yeah, I just know, like in Beautiful Katamari talks about how majestic the planet of Uranus is. And naturally, that leads to some little snickers from the prince and stuff, or just like the pringy, like, hey, what are you snickering about? Stop that. Yeah, this game does have a bit of a thing with like railroading, so we gotta go check out the SS Prince first and fix it up. But you know, I should probably make sure a time machine is working because no one wants to get stuck in the past, right? And now the game's just going to show us this thing, which gives us stuff like a collection, the ability to watch cutscenes, early purchase bonuses from stuff. And this is like the thing where you can like sort of make your own cousins using like the normal cousins as the base. But right, let's get back to work. We got a Cosmos to save again. And yeah, that does have an as fast as possible stage, but it's not a required stage, so we're skipping it. We just want to focus on, like, the key stages. Alright, stage 2, we got this guy who needs help cleaning up his house. Because he's a tea master who says time for tea ceremonies, but not cleaning up. And here we got the theme song for the game. Done by, I forget their name, but if you've seen Keep Your Hands Off Meizuken, they did this theme for that. They did the theme for that anime. And yeah, definitely a very dance-worthy song. But, yeah, for some reason I'm not sure if it's my controller or something, but I do have like a tendency for it to accidentally like turn around when it's not supposed to. And that thing rolled up there is a timer, which not only slows time, stop the time for objects, but also for like the in-game timer. So you can see that like upper right where it's not going at all. Oh, I see the crown there. I guess I thought the magnet had grabbed it, but I guess not. Yeah, unfortunately, the timer isn't actually useful for actual speedruns because can't stop real time, sadly. As much as we want to, would be nice power, but sadly we don't get it. Anyway, that's this guy's house, nice and cleaned up in record time. This guest will be very happy, I'm sure. And yeah, I should remember to always do the cut after every state, whenever the planet gets unveiled. Yeah, the game tells us about presents now. We can decorate the prince and make him look fancy. That'll look fancy, right? Alright, next is basically a remix of the old 50 item stage from We Love Katamari, except in this case we're trying to roll expensive items as opposed to things are just, you know, big. Although I do have that stage in the game as well. And yeah, living things don't count for price. They do count for, in terms of how big how many items you have left though, so. Normally we don't want to grab those, but here we want to just try and get through as quick as possible. And we found Cousin Charlie as well, who's also a new cousin to this game, along with Cosme. And steal this guy's dinner, and we're done. Very cheap, but very fast. Just like fast food, am I right? And with this, we're finally going to see the main thing in this game is that we can go to different eras and time travel. Yeah, basically with these crowns, you want to occasionally have like little gates we have to have enough crowns to get through. Not like IRL gates, just, you know, like if we don't have enough crowns, the king will tell us we have to get more crowns. But if we keep following the strategy I got, we should have enough. Anyway, give us a yeehaw and a meowdy, because we're in the American frontier. Yeah, if you look at the live split, I do have like a little thing next to each stage telling us how many crowns we're supposed to get each stage. Just like a bit for me remembering as well as you guys. But yep, first, now we meet this cowboy who's clearly drunk and wants us to get himself some drinks for some parties. Some shindigs and hootenannies and all that. The thing with this stage is that we want to get lucky and land on this counter like here, because this will let us get like some early drinks very quickly. Yeah, I know like the two videos I've watched of this, one from the HEDQ hotfix and one from just like the top runner on speedrun.com. This game focused on this, trying to get this thing. Oh. Also, hey there, Icky Maid. Welcome on in, folks. We're just doing some Once Upon a Katamari speedruns. Welcome on in. I saw you're playing as well, so yeah. It's like you and two other folks who I know are playing the game today, so yeah, nice. Welcome on in, folks. Unfortunately, I do have like raid alerts and stuff off, so you're not going to hear too much about that, but still welcome on in, and thanks for the follow, Zap. But yeah, currently we're just starting our second run of the day. First run did have a little bit of issue where it just like crashed for some reason, but other than that, it's going pretty good. I swear it's like the first crash I've seen Katamari actually do. Oh yeah, first time's not speedy as well. Get all the S ranks too, yeah. But yeah, I've already 100%ed the game myself. And actually did before the update that makes a few objects in like one of the later stages, in this stage, easier to get. Because yeah, I was gonna mention this, but this stage does have like a thing that was messed up with the upgrade. Oh, you also have that crash too, okay, yeah. For me, it was like during Lots of Roses when I was grabbing one of the angels and the game just suddenly crashed. That was, yeah, never had one before. But yeah, like I was saying, basically that saloon door actually is a little bit an interesting object because... Oh, you too, wow. Okay, that's interesting. Guess you're gonna have to do a 1.05 patch for that. Book stuck, book stuck. Here we go. Maybe, yeah. Okay. Interesting. But yeah, that saloon door requires it to be like 2 meters 20 to get, but you couldn't really get that in earlier versions. Well, you could, but it's very, very hard. You just have to like grab every item and be very careful about what you grab, but they increased the size cap for the stage. But yeah, that is interesting. When an angel instant crash, the Jackstop had to replay the level. It's weird. Okay. Yeah, that must be new to this version then. And yeah, this is a rocket, which lets us go fast. And now we've got to go to our third crown, which is... Right, I know where that is. Okay, yeah, but good to know that it wasn't just me then. And that might just be something new with the update. Alright. Yeah, remember these we want to grab for the drinks. Yeah, for folks who don't know this one, I'm mainly doing this one for fastest first because it recently opened up submissions, but I could always use for other gate ones as well. I know like HU Hotfix has like another Once Upon a Katamari run coming up for the main AGDQ event. But yeah, we've got the 2 crowns we need for this stage, so once we get our last ones over here, we should be good to go. Oh, there we go. Here's your apple juice, and we're gone. Yeah, good to know I'm not the only one who had to deal with that crash. Ooh. Yeah, main thing I know about that small update was just like this stage and the sweet stage getting a little bit changed, so it's easier to get like some very hard objects. Oh. And we're just gonna miss the queen dealing some bandits. Which I mean the giant tumbleweed rolls them all up. And yeah, this thing is just a thing where you can trade in those coins you get from beating stages for little cute little faces and stuff. Alright, we got tumbleweeds to deal with. Tumbleweed terror. I think it's one that feels like one of the more open stages in terms of speed running. A lot of places you can go, a lot of objects to grab. But yeah, for this stage, you basically want to really focus on grabbing the 3 tumbleweeds you can see in the corner of the flowery one, the spiky one, and the basic one. Because those are the ones that actually count for... Whoop, that count for score. Oh, alright, there we go. Yeah, luckily there are a lot of mags in the stage, so we can make good use of those once we find some. But yeah, here's one of the crowns right here. Right on top of the elephant. And also the stage will give us a better opportunity to listen to the full version, the longer version of the theme song. As opposed to just quickly cleaning up that guy's house and calling it good. Yeah, this is where the other crown we need to get is... It was either this guy... Oh, right. Right in this thing. Oh, right, we gotta get 3 crowns, I realize. Just double check the thing there. The old live split. Strike? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was... Yeah, this is a big stage, so it's pretty easy to get lost. Where is it? We'll grab you, of course. Gotta love the magnets. This power up in the game technically was in Katamari Forever as like some parts you could grab. It came in like the version we have now in like a kind where you just like instantly grab and instantly pulls and everything close towards you. But with a bigger range. Yep, watch out for the cow! Here we go, there's the crown. Pretty dance, pretty dance. Everybody world, everybody world. Yeah, now we just need to get the last of these tumbleweeds, and then we can also grab a magnet as well. Because we're going to be bring those to the other stages to help us out. Yep, there's the one we need. Oh, there's one there, so we can just use this and grab that one afterward. Oh, geez, that's gonna... Nope, okay. We're fine, we're fine. Okay, maybe not. Don't think we're quite big enough to roll up that thing. A bit of a shame. But, you know, this is the second run, so... we're practicing and all that. And there will always be some that's never happened before moments. Like I said, like earlier in the original stream, like I was watching Jew Horse doing a RPG limit break run of Look Outside, doing for the failed ritual run, and basically he was trying to use an insta-kill move, a move that should supposedly insta-kill the boss, but they wound up using a move that prevents him from using skills right before, and he got killed in one of those that's never happened before moments. Nope. Right, split. Alright. It wouldn't be the Wild West of the Gold Rush, so let's go do Gold Rush, how about? Yeehaw. Yeah, for the folks who've never seen it, I know Bandai Namco did like a mixtape of like little preview versions of the songs in this game. And they're all definitely worth looking at. A lot of good songs in there, some good videos, and definitely some funny moments in them. I'm like, this is one of them. The videos kind of brings me to mind of... I want to say it's like a mix of reminding me of the My Katamari's. He's very, very fun an ending minigame where it's just basically like a retro video game, like a good old 2D side-scroller platformer, which is always a very fun one. I remember playing that one a lot when I had my PSP. And also the game going through what's basically a magical transformation sequence into the outfit he wears in this game, which also includes a brief blur of like Center with like using his face up there to cover him up. You don't see his royal scepter. Yeah. But yeah, I think the one I watched the most was the one for Eija Eija Naika, which is the one by Kochi no Kento, because that's just a very good song. Okay, we actually aren't big enough to go up there yet. That's a bit rough. And yeah, in this stage, just trying to roll up a lot of gold things, including like just random gold hamsters who are colored gold, because like that's the color of their fur, which I just find funny. Just anything gold, even if it's just like a golden retriever. Oh. Almost missed a crown that Momotaro dropped. That would have been bad. So yeah, this is not my best run of the stage. Oh, these only count for one each. Okay, the sunflowers aren't gold. I thought they counted as gold. There we go. And next, it's time for a bit of waiting, because this is going to be the part where the game forces us to play around Katamari Ball. Basically, it's like the online multiplayer of this game, which, you know, it's fun, but it's a bit annoying that the game forces you to go through a round of it. Yeah, basically it's a thing where you gotta collect objects and bring them to the UFO to gain points. Oh, and the King's also gonna tell us about how we can decorate our room up here now. Oh, there we go. It's a bit awkward with the touching on that. But yeah, the game definitely does love like dragging around to show you tutorial stuff. And let's talk about Dr. Katamari here. Oh yeah, take care, Jack. Good to have you join. Good to have you and Iggy and Rest join in. But yeah, for this one, we're just gonna stay out of it because there are a few tutorial pop-ups that happen if we do go playing, like grabbing our power-ups and stuff. So we're just gonna hide, grab some coffee, Then to grab some coffee and just watch them all roll around. With us and in these fake cousins like Charlie, Molombo, and Ra Ra Ra. I do laugh at the fake names they give them though. That is kind of fun. But we are just gonna chill in a corner, tend to grab a coffee, and just chill. But yeah, basically how it works is that they're all grabbing stuff, making the car bigger, and then they gotta drop off at the SS Prince as it hops around. It has a few different locations they can go to, but so you have to like time it properly. But we're just gonna let them have their fun. And meanwhile, we're just gonna pretend, just look at cat videos and all that, you know. And you know, if this were a speedrun, this would be a good, hey folks, you want to talk about donations and all that moment. Anyway, we're just gonna chill, look at some cat pictures, like this adorable Scottish Fold kitten I'm looking at my phone. Little picture of a bunny in a horse outfit to celebrate the year of the horse. Some lemurs at a Calgary zoo. All sorts of cute stuff. Oh, and little birthday photos for Manatee, this very cute Sharpei I watch. He's very cute. Absolute cinema, but with tunic. And of course some pictures of Uni. Like this one of him just sitting and purring. Such a cute, photogenic kitty, huh? Oh yeah, so I'm talking about how Bill Watterson could do Sin City, but Frank Miller couldn't do Calvin and Hobbes. I just showing like one of those, what's his name again? Tracer Bullet comics, where he just like has Calvin Gould noir for Sudden. Oh, it's such a good comic. Can't believe it ended just over 30 years ago. Now, what else can we watch while we're waiting for these guys to have their fun? 40 seconds left. You art, more Uni. More cute dogs. Pro being a storm menace by breaking some clay plant pots. Fan art. Fursuit picture. Happy New Year picture. More Uni, of course. A dog getting grumpy because they want to take the tree down. Rare footage of a pink platypus. That's cool. But anyway, time to finish up this run. So, oh, and again, I keep forgetting about the splits. But yeah, let's just skip this. You weren't interested, King. But now we can finally move on to the next area. Now we're done with the forced multiplayer. As we're gonna go see some dinosaurs. Over in Jurassic period. Let's go. Gillies rejoice. We're gonna see a lot of those dinosaurs here. This is, I think, the first place we're gonna skip a side stage that the game gives us. The 50 item stage. The OG version, not the appraisal version, but... Right, so yeah. This one, we just gotta grab lots of weird and wonderful dinosaurs. Lots of dinosaurs, eggs, the big bugs that are here because there's more oxygen in the air. Scientific fact. That's why the bugs are so big back then. Grab these watermelons that someone put in this nest instead of the eggs. And now you have access to the rest of the area. You can briefly see the crown we're going for the T-Rex's head. Yep, right, grab these guys. And hey there, Dom, welcome on in. We're doing some speedrunning practice today for Once Upon a Katamari. This is our second run of the day, because the first one had like some issues with the crash that apparently is been showing up a new version. Where just like when you had an Angel in the Roses stage, it causes the game to crash, but we're working it work so far. This run's going well, I think. Yeah, we want to go grab the crown, and then we'll be able to go back to the main area, start getting a lot of the little guys. Oh, if we stop hitting all these big dinos first. And yeah, definitely gotta play more as well. Yep, now I can grab this crown up from this dinosaur. And we are gonna use our crown or magnet over here to clear a whole bunch of little dinosaurs. Get some good size in. There we go. Yeah, I do like how there's also just some guys in dinosaur suits here as well, who scream, "Dinosaur!" and you roll them up. Just some random dino fans in the old times, you know how it is. Oh, okay, guess those, like, frogs don't actually count for dinosaurs. Yeah, we need 110 of these, so... And no, we're not going to grab that huge crown there, unfortunately. We're going to beat the stage well before we get that one. Alright. Get this. There we go. Now, I should be big enough to get a bunch of the smaller dinosaurs that are still down here. Like this one here. Yeah, a lot of little guys. The ones that'll spit acid in a nerd's face. Oh, nice, got the present. Not that we need it. There we go. Yeah, just gotta get to 110 and we can end the stage. And yeah, I still gotta get rid of my Twitter handle on there because I'm really phasing that out now. Yeah, 36% of dinosaurs. We get a little dinosaur head to wear in our head. Yeah, my personal favorite out of the accessories would be Medjed. The Medjed you can wear on your head, but unfortunately you can only wear one of these things at a time. Oh. Okay, there we go. For some reason it wasn't doing the skip thing there. Yeah, sadly you can only wear that or the bunny ears, which you get for getting all the objects. And I kind of wear the sign of honor, plus, you know, rabbit. But anyway, time for the lake. Which is basically the lake mission, the water mission from We Love Katamari. Right down to having hooks that we kind of want to try and avoid. Because if we do that happens, we've got to mash, just like wiggle the control sticks, escape. I want to hook this area a bit as we go here so we don't get grabbed by the hooks. Oop. Okay, I think we can still get the crown later, so let's not worry about that too much. Yeah, there are a lot of magnets in this stage, which is pretty nice. I'm describing all the swimming stuff going around. And I think one had up here now. Let's try and grab where the next crown is going to be. Also, that jellyfish made an algae snowman, which is kind of funny. Oh, wait, I think we want to try and grab a... I thought it shows up here. Yeah, let's grab this and use that up here. That'll really help. Dang, we kind of lost the charge here, so definitely not go as fast here. I definitely had a really good charge and definitely able to go get a good speed when I was doing this on my first attempt. And right, I know there's... Okay, magnet here, we'll grab that. Yeah, let's grab this one, then we can start looking for the other ones. I know there's a fish that rides around with, like, there it is. With one of the crowns. And the last crown is up here. Yeah, I know there's like some tech to dashing in this game, but I'm not exactly sure how to do it off the top of my head. I know they said it's like use a heavy dash, a few short dashes, and then a heavy dash again, but I don't quite know how to get the proper timing down, if that is one. I'm sure there's gonna be like a Discord or wherever for that speedrun sort of stuff, but I don't know where it is I don't think I know where it is myself, if there is one. Alright, now we've fished up that lake, it's time to head back to Edo, Japan. As we get sent back to there to do our second as large as possible mission. At least the second of the main ones. And yeah, the king's just talking about challenges to get more king tokens. And by challenge, they mean beat the stage while having grabbed a certain number of objects. That's the only kind of challenge we get in the game, sadly. Which does kind of suck. I would have loved to see different kinds of challenges for stages, but oh well. Here, back in the house, as you're trying to make another big Katamari. Right, I'm trying to remember where we go for this first part. Up here, right? Yeah. Yeah, these chocolates give you a good bit of size, to remember correctly. And yeah, we should use our magnet here as well. Keep bumping into like stuff that's a little bit too big. But there we go, there was first crown on that little thing there. I'm not sure exactly what you call it, like a little heirloom marker or something. The little thing that's always annoying is that whenever the game goes like, you can go to this area, the camera like manually zooms in while I can still around so you can charge how we want to go. But before we head out, we're going to get a little bit bigger by just grabbing some of the toys and stuff in here. I think that's good. There's our second crown. And up here is where we want to go to get our last real bit of size. Because these boxes give a whole bit of size if you grab them all. Not enough to get big enough, but definitely gets us a lot closer. And steal some lunches and 50 centimeters. Nice. But speaking of lunches, next up stage we're going to banquet with lots of food stages. This is going to be basically the sumo stage from We Love Katamari all over again. We gotta roll around a weird shaped Katamari, get it big by eating food, and just roll up a certain object. And while we're doing that, King's gonna go put on a cool kabuki mask and cause a tornado, you know. As he does. Oh, and hang on, the game's gonna tell us that we can do multiplayer online now. Thanks, King, we're kind of busy. Yeah, there's definitely some annoying tutorialization in the game and just like dragging you immediately to new stuff, but it's still fun. And meanwhile, the King's gonna try and refuel the SS Princess's beautiful singing voice, according to that little bit of text we were skipping by. But now time for what's basically the sumo stage. We got this youngster, we gotta fatten him up by rolling up food, and then we gotta get him roll with some fancy armor. I'm sure he'll fit even when he's weighing like 180 kilograms. Right? I know this is another pretty cool song. It's kind of a mix of like old school and modern dunes, I want to say. Fancy eel box, that's what that was. Which makes it sound like a box with a very fancy eel inside of it, as opposed to just like a fancy box that contains eel to eat. And that is the crown right there, and that little, on top of that big thing. What is it? Mochi? Eat some shrimp. Tasty, tasty. But yeah, oh, and here's one of the crowns here on top of this dude's head. You ain't royalty, give it here. But yeah, once you get to 90, I think is when we're allowed to go up to the roof. And yeah, we get to eat miso too, cousin miso. Yep, 90. Yeah, up here is where we're gonna find the last crown. And sadly can't fall off the roof. Although I guess it's more of a luckily situation. Well, I'm sure some of us would like to fall off the roof and just terrorize the town as like a noble lad just who's getting fat off rolling around, being fed all this food. Okay, not quite big enough to grab those yet. But we can just get drunk off this malted rice drink. He'll be fine. Here, I'm pretty sure he's not 21. I mean, he started out 35 kilograms, so he's gotta be a small kid. But, you know, he'll be fine. And here's the crown. But now, let's get back to that party. We've got one more crown to grab before we finish up. There it is. Okay, maybe we should stay up there a bit longer to grab stuff, but this will do just fine. Besides, we can just hop right out here and grab a few things. There we go. And now we just gotta end by grabbing armor. Pardon me, Kabuki, and that one yokai, which is like a monkey on a tiger's body. But yeah, there's armor. You'll probably need a few refittings, but it'll work. Yeah, I want to say we're about halfway through the game. I'm not exactly sure like how fast it. But, or no, I wouldn't say because we aren't we not as large as possible 3, but anyway, the ship's charged up, so let's get going. And we're off to Voyage at Sea, also known as the Age of Pirates, also known as the 1600s, I'd want to say. Because, you know, that's when Sid Meier's Pirates took place, right? Like Caribbean 1600s, that's when it really took off, the big age of the romanticized pirates, if I'm correct. And over there, where Blackbeard is, these are our first task. We've got to roll as large as possible in the sea. This stage is actually kind of interesting in terms of like gameplay mechanics, because it's the first stage which really gives you branching paths. Yeah, like basically what's gonna happen is that 15 centimeters we'll see a little bit of cutscene, but where basically it's like the game tells us that we can roll up this octopus that's running around. And if we do so, it'll take us on a different route where a ship gets pulled under by a Kraken and we get to roll in the underwater area. But since we're going to be good enough and leave it alone, we're just going to have to deal with some ghost pirates. That's why I marked it on the tracker right there, just to specify which route we're taking. And we've got some very fancy adventurous music for this period. Yeah, and there's the octopus just gonna jump on that poor pirate's face and just be cruel to him. Alright, let's use our thing here to get through this to the 80 centimeters mark. There we go. And you do have to place multiple times because they're... Oh, Oh, I see we got stuck on that on that bird cage that must have fallen when we magneted up a bird. You know how that is. Use a magnet, accidentally grab a bird, and the cage falls on your head. And here come the ghost pirates to cause some trouble. Then I'll grab a bit of size here before we head over to the other side, especially since we do need the crown, which is up here a bit on this pile of crates. And I'm sure there's a way to use like the crown as well to just grab it easily, but oh well. There we go. Crown gotten. And next crown we're going to want to get a bit bigger for, because it's kind of up there a bit. Grab some penguins. Yeah, we want to get a little bit bigger so we can grab like barrels and such. Which I think are like 160, I want to say. $160-ish. Oh, there we go. Now, so let's just grab these ghost railings as well. And have an easier time just grabbing people that get in our way. And there's the treasure with the crown in it. And we end right before we get to the da 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 part. But yeah, there's one more stage here. Although there's actually a lot of stages in here. There's this one. There's the small just right stage. There's the next one we're gonna do, and then there's the race stage. Coming back from We Love Katamari. Definitely a lot of We Love Katamari in this game, I want to say, but that's fine. It definitely was one of the best of the Katamari games. Meanwhile, the Queen and the Cuz are going to the Kraken of their own. But they'll be fine. Even if it does force them to abandon ship. She and the cousins are tough. But yeah, these guys got stuck on an island and they need help rolling up wood to make a new ship. So that's what we're going to do. Oh. And also going back to songs again, this is one Skyscrapers is also a cute one if you look at the mixtapes for on the Bandai Namco channel. It's basically what I call Ice Cream Scoops in Love. Very cute song. And yeah, what we want to do is grab some of that stuff. And get a little bit there before we head into that area. Like stealing the deer here who are shopping at this humanoid deer shop. You know, just a random deer fur hanging out on this island with all these pirates. As you do. I'm gonna get a bit of size from these, so grab those. And the bears. And this is kind of a funny sight here. These pirates here are just making a big fire over there, and you mean on the cage's Natsuo. I think it's implied that you're gonna eat him because, as you know, grilled cooked peanuts are pretty delicious, I've heard. I've never been a fan of peanuts myself, but you know, if I'm on an island, I'd probably go with peanuts before cannibalism. Maybe it's just like an SOS fire. Who knows? Maybe I'm thinking too much about what those guys are gonna do to the peanut in the cage. Alright, let's get to using that magnet. Kidnapping a bunch of cows. If you looked into either like terrifying a lion who's with like a no-stealing cow sign and just some cannons on their back, which I just find very funny. Yeah, I feel like it'd be a lot harder to kidnap a cow if they're heavily armed. And we hit our goal, so make our ship. And ta-da! A random raft. I'm sure they'll be fine, right? Besides, there's only those two guys. Well, plus the other guys. It's one person. Totally seaworthy. Yeah, basically, I'm not sure if I mentioned again, but we want to try and get at least 60 crowns by the time we finish the Just Right 3 mission. And as we go along the game, we'll get more crowns to get past different parts where we'd be locked otherwise. Alright, let's head home to ancient Greece. Home to all sorts of Western philosophy and a lot of other stuff. Well, there's probably more philosophy than just ancient Greece, but you know. Speaking of philosophy, here's Socrates right now. Him and his big forehead. He wants to have a big philosophical debate with his friends, but needs us to find them. So let's go do that. And there's the magnet right off the bat. Oh, I grabbed the timer beforehand. Whoops. That'll make things a bit rough. Yeah, I do want to be careful because you can't, like, switch out objects if they're in inventory like that. Just like rolling up there to get the bit of size, and now we're going back to grab that. Yeah, I must have missed it when I was rolling around that stage. Alright, here's our first guy, Plato. Teaching a whole bunch of Spartans. And I like how they have a normal teacher there, but she's Spartan in that she's just very strict. Another crown. Rolled up Homer. You good old Homer Simpson. Woohoo! Which I try, but I don't think I do very good at it. Found Marcy. Be nice and colorful. Second crown right here. Actually missed that one the first time I was doing this stage for a while. Got Aristotle. Oh, yeah, there's the one I almost missed in the fountain. Dale's just taking a bath. He really loves the water. There's another crown. And now we should have a few more this year. There's Archimedes. Heraclitus. And the last one should be right down here. Pythagoras. And then Socrates shows up over near the beginning over in that place there. Just watch out for the Sumer and Goliath just having a fight. And there we go. Philosophy's learned. I feel enlightened already. But yeah, definitely not the fastest time, but we're gonna do practice and all that on this game, so. Yeah, no, like the best one is like 1 hour, and the second, and the one on AGDQ is like 1 hour 20. Well, the GDQ hotfix, I mean. Alright, and instead of lighting up a fire, we're gonna go collect some roses. So knowing that there's a bug here, this does make me a little concerned. Like an actual crash level bug, but we're going in anyway. And enjoying the San Francisco Choir. Alright, just grabbing this crown right now. Yeah, I want to charge up our breath before we start using the magnet again. Like, right here, I want to say, it's going to be a good spot to use it. And here come the angels. Hopefully it'll be fine if we just, like, use the magnet to grab them all. But yeah, what we really want to do for roses is grab these flower people. The flower princes and princesses, because they're just, like, covered in roses. Like the woman that guy was pining for. I'm sure he'll be fine. Even if he did steal his lover. And there are a few up here I want to grab. Like this guy here. And here's a big clump of them. And there should be 2 over in this area. Assuming we don't get the 5k from just rolling up bouquets. Which we did, so we're out of here. Just leave the black rose people alone. I still have to, if you do the roses as fast as possible stage, roll black roses, the king starts to say what it is, and you should like, look it up yourself. Because I think what I've heard, it means like breakups or something, some dark magic, or just like lust, you know. Can't tell that to the prince. He's still just a little guy. Whether it's in age or just in size is up there for debate. Anyway, time for Kochi no Kento music. Yeah, this guy wants us to help out the festival. So how about we go do that? Yeah, I forget exactly where the crown is in this stage. The first crown is in this stage. Actually, I might know. Let me see if it is down here. Okay, it isn't. Let's quickly reset then. But yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite songs from the soundtrack. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not exactly sure where the first crown is in this area. So we're gonna have to go improvise in a future stage, I want to say. Grab some crabs up here, and then we'll head on down. Okay, not quite big enough for that gourd there. I know I want to head over to this area because there are a lot of toys and stuff over here that are small enough to grab for us. There we go. There are these boxes. These have good bit of size each time I grab one. And we head up here because the crown's up here with these kids doing their old bug fighting. That's where Pokemon came from, remember? That's where it's inspired from, I think, if I remember correctly. And we'll head back in this guy's house and raid a bit of the stuff as we're heading to the next area. Because the third crown is actually pretty big. It's going to be like hard to go a decent bit back to the usual goal. Like, I want to say 240, I want to say, is the size you need. Yeah, it's gonna be like on the beach, so we're gonna need to get pretty big for that one. I do mention at one time I wanted to like try and make some karaoke versions of the song. It's just some of the songs in this game, since you have the instrumental versions available even. It'll be a lot easier to do without having to edit out the the talking. And right, I want to go here because I know there's some of those Jesus statues who are good to roll up. Well, he might be a bit too small for them. Yeah, I think they're like 1 meter actually, so let's grab some veggies first. There we go. There we go. Just had to steal hat off one, now we can grab these guys. Alright, and there's the magnet. I do have like a little issue where for some reason it seems like it's easy to accidentally do a flip when you don't mean to, but... And right, now we need to get to 2 meters and then we'll go down to the beach. Also, fun fact, I think the guy who sings the credits for this game is over there, the guy in that red suit and black pants. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be like the actual main guy who sung that song. Because he watched like the video in the, as he has a similar name in the game, and he watched the video in the mixtape stage videos, he so shows up singing that song. I'm not sure who that musician is off the top of my head though, but apparently he's just big enough that he got to actually appear in the game. But right, now we are gonna have to like pivot for a later stage to make up for the fact we couldn't find the first crown here. I really should have like watched the video really quick to just make sure, double check where that video is, but we'll make it. We'll make do. Meanwhile, the king's gonna go fishing. And we're gonna go ghost hunting, how about? Or yokai hunting, rather. They might be similar things, but same thing or different things, who knows? Yep, it's time for spooky, spooky yokai, sending shivers down your spine. And this song was done by the guy who did Disco Prince and the Moon and the Prince, which is pretty cool. And he's a legendary Enka singer from what I've heard. But yeah, Vacation to Stageless be getting crowns, I want to say. Because one of them is in a bit of a weird spot. And right, I think we can get the first one right now, up here. There we go. Yeah, I really couldn't find it when the first time I did the stage. But a lot easier this time that we know where it is. And let's go yokai hunting. It's a bit of a shame Yokai Watch never really took off in America as much that well. Just remembering that thing a while ago. And it sucks even more that level 5 is getting into AI, Gen AI now. You know, they're gonna tell Professor Layton the riddle of what happens when we no longer love him because of AI. It really sucks. It does suck. I remember playing some of those games growing up, and they were fun. Right. I know one of these is on a rock somewhere. And one of these is... And there's the third one. Alright, let's use this magnet here. It does help us get to all the yokai we need. If we don't run up energy too quickly. And right, the last one we need is up there. On those rocks, but... Grabbing a few things here just to grab the yokai we need. Speed washing boy. Yeah, there's the crown right over here. Oh. Ah, fell. Hopefully we can get back up there. Here we go. Now let's just rush out into the night and grab whatever we can for yokai. There we go. Grab some of those real thin ones. Forget their name. I don't know many yokai off the top of my head, so I can tell you all these folks are grabbing. That's the yokai planet. Nice. And SS Prince is full again, so let's go head on to the Stone Age. It's like the Jurassic Age, but more people, less dinosaurs. A little more civilization, a lot less cool animals, sadly. But, you know, we gotta make sacrifices. In this case, it's really cool animals. I do like how, like, a Mount Rushmore of, like, stone versions of the prince and his cousins there. Yep, time to make a Haniwa. Which, if I remember correctly, are like funerary figures in ancient Japan or something. You know, it's like the kind of thing you bury and put in someone in a funeral thing. Or it's like the thing you bury with someone when they die. One of those things. I just vaguely checked Wikipedia a while back. Let's figure out what they are. But yeah, I just gotta get to 50 centimeters and then they let us outside and go making our Haniwa. And that's the first crown in there. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to like either use we're gonna have to use the magnet to get that. So I want to get a bit of size first. We want a bit of size in general because we need to go get our second crown in the stage as well. You're sure don't get locked further on. Yeah, let's head down there, use the crown to get that, and then we'll start making the rest up. And if you see stuff running around that way, that's because we're bumping into as this Haniwa Katamari. I guess they don't want us burning people to death with this Katamari, so we can't grab any actual people or animals with it. Which is a shame. I want to burn everyone in the ovens. The clay ovens, I gotta specify. Yeah, it's more like how in the We Love Katamari Campfire stage, if you tried to roll up someone, they just run off with their butt on fire. Which is funny, but doesn't actually get me any size or anything. Okay, there's our second crown. Let's go cook this. Let's cook. That wasn't too bad of a detour. You made yourself a nice Prince Hamiwa. Very nice, but missing a little bit of a something. Namely, that's not showing the king. Because naturally that rank is of the King of all Cosmos himself. Which gives a ranking of fabulous. Yeah, because we all know how easy the king is to flatter. Like, remember how We Love Katamari, just about every mission started off with him being like, I'm not working on this. Then Dan just compliments him, he's just like, okay, actually, yeah, we are totally doing this. And next, it's time for the Diggy Diggy Hole. Small wants us to help him dig a hole, so we're gonna help get him a home. And this song here is probably one of the weaker songs, in my opinion. It's just called Katamari Damacy. Very sort of like Francis sounding, like, I'm not sure what you kind of call that kind of song, but it's not bad, but I don't know, it's just not as cool as the other songs, in my opinion. And I do find it funny how the song's just called Katamari Damacy. I figured that'd be a little too confusing, because, you know, Katamari Damacy the game and Katamari Damacy the song. But yeah, we've got to get to like 50 centimeters first, and then we can start digging up the bedrock. Because yeah, once you get to certain size, you'll be able to, there we go. And grab the bedrock. Let's find that crown real quick. Yeah, I know there's one in the first level. There it is. But yeah, it's like 4 different levels you can go in here, but we're only going into 2. Because that's all we need for crowns. Oh, and there's a second one right here, under this soil. There we go. And I was trying to avoid the bedrock in the middle because I didn't want to trigger a second cutscene and loading screen for the next transition area. Oh, and me again forgetting to use the switches, the splits. Oh well. And again, I'm not super used to speedrunning stuff, using like official speedrunning stuff, so we're just doing that for now. How about we go somewhere a bit more fancy, mythological? Let's go to good old ancient Egypt. Home to folks like Anubis, Ra, and good old Medjed. Who could forget Medjed? You know, just what were they again? Like a bedsheet goes to just human legs. Very funny looking. Nobody knows what's really up with that minor god, but their appearance is just so funny. I guess people just like them anyway. Can't blame them. But first, time to do the one of the few missions that was actually an original mission in Katamari Forever. We got a big desert and it needs watering. Yeah, Katamari Forever was fun, but I do wish there were some more unique missions as opposed to just the 3 we got. Yeah, the goal of this mission is just to water all the sand and help bring back the old desert. Gotta build a little platform up here. And I know at least one of these spawns a crown, but we're trying to... Yeah, I remember having trouble last time, but there's the ostrich right there. Yeah, there's an ostrich that spawns in once you water enough that you have to go roll up. And there's your 3rd crown, so all I gotta worry about now is getting the last of it. Alright, I think a crown spawns in one of these pools. Thought it did? Oh, this big pillar, this is where it's supposed to be. There we go. I do look at this funky song notes. It's a shame it appears for a mission where there's so much replay value. Like, it's easy to get 100%, just be like, okay, I don't need to play this mission anymore. But there goes all the water. That guy in his camel we didn't see in the little intro on the stage are very pleased. And let's go. Up, up, and away. Just so the whole desert we made into the stratosphere. You know, like one of my favorite Queen scenes where she just tears it up in a pyramid. Or tears it up and tears it down. We sadly aren't going to miss another one, a cool mission where you just basically play the chameleon mission for We Love Me and My Katamari. Instead, we gotta go catch some mummies. Yeah, some tomb robbers woke these guys up and are being noisy for this one mummy, so we gotta go and roll them all up. Oh, there's one of our crowns right here. Oh, we can't quite grab him yet. Oh, Medjed. Oh, little too tall to grab. Yeah, I think good move is just going here at first, because those are where a lot of shares in here with the grab. But I can't hear it when you roll them up, they usually like scream, "Mummy!" Which always gets a laugh out of me. Yeah, they got a lot of weird mummies here. Big guy mummies, some cool mummies, pompadours. Little mummies, big mummies. Mummies hiding in treasure chests. Mummy doing a big ol' hanging down from the ceiling thing. Mummies drawing on the walls. Those are hieroglyphics, you two. Knock it off. Oh, I might have gotten Medjed there. I couldn't tell. Oh, nope, there he is. Got him. Yep, that's our good pal Medjed. Yeah, nothing says cool like a weird god that's just like a bedsheet with legs. Alright, there's just one more room in here. I saved this one for last because it's got big alligator mummies, which are, as you might have guessed, pretty big. Oh, we're missing one mummy. Who could it be now? Oh, this guy. There we go. Oh, I was hoping you scream, "Mummy!" when you roll them up. Oh, this makes you laugh, just some mummies screaming our names in terror. Alright, got building ourselves a Medjed. Couldn't resist, had to grab old Medjed to wear on our head. There's something very funny about that god, just, you know. I mean, obviously, just look at him. Such a weird appearance for a god. Just so basic, in a good way. Now we're heading back to Edo, Japan to go look at some fireworks. But first we gotta help out rolling a 12-meter Katamari. Yep, the rolling never ends. So we're off. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the crown is right over here. They're like some little fish bouncing around something, and there it is, straight ahead. Nice, that one is pretty easy to find. And just gonna hit 50 centimeters real quick. Ooh, the sweet potato's gonna help out. There we go. But yeah, I think we're getting pretty close. After this is like one more stage, then we get to the second to last stage in second to last era, I want to say. So we're definitely getting there. And yeah, I skipped out grabbing Lucky because I wanted to grab those little masks and hammers that are flying around her. I'm pretty sure, I think Lucky's are her, I forget. They're a very new one, so I don't know that much. And hey there, Hot Dog Turtle, welcome on in. Yeah, I'm doing some speedrun practice because Fastest First opened some missions recently, and I figured I want to try and get this game in there. But yeah, this is probably going to be the last run of the day. It's been some fun so far, and luckily this one didn't have that that crashing glitch happen. First time it's happened to me, I gotta say. Probably something that popped up a new version, maybe? Unless I've just been very lucky so far. But Right, now it's definitely time to get into the town. I have to grab this Nabuta. Whatever those are. Yeah, I definitely don't know like the super optimal routes for every stage, but this is just like that we're gonna learn. You know, I want to go back so we can grab that baby born those things in those little towering rice bales. Well, not quite big enough yet, but we'll just drop this guy's horse archery practice. He'll be fine. Oh, and these things are good to grab too. Just those stabs and the things and the ropes on them. Not quite big enough for that, but we'll get there. Yeah, there's a very speed boost, so I'm kind of used to with the older Katamari games and the dashes. But okay, now I'm sure we can grab that crown. Yep, there we go. Now I'll get back to up 3 meters by just rolling around this area here where there's a lot of small stuff. Like some bushes, some benches. All these fruit. All the food here. Some of those hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil monkeys. And now we're going to be going to the big town. But first, we will try and grab a bit of stuff to get a bit bigger for that area. Like this little restaurant, outdoor restaurant area. Oh yeah, I get pushed around by those Mikoshi guys. Okay, now I can grab the horse. That's nice. Alright, head down here. There's a magnet down here, I remember correctly. Oh no, that gets us next to this largest possible mission. There are some nice things here, like these fences. This has a good size. Oh, there's a magnet right here. Okay. Just completely missed it. There we go. Really make good use of the magnet there. And now for Rico, we do want to grab the magnet up in this next area up here. Right up there. And we'll have about a bit next mission. There we go. Got ourselves 12 meters, 2 crowns, and a magnet. In which I keep forgetting live split. That's fine. We're still doing good. And yeah, and Jack, thanks for the follow and how to cut up crows as well. I should have gotten you this from the raid as well. Yeah, anyway. Ink's gonna try and launch some fireworks, but unfortunately there's no air and space, so I can't really get the fireworks going, I think, is what happens. More or less. Anyway, how about I do a bit of Robin Hood stuff, you know. Stealing coins for the poor people. A sentiment I'm sure we can all love. Stealing money from these overly rich guys, giving it to all the people who could use it. And even better, we get some Kochi no Kento while rolling around it as well. Oh. Ow. Yeah, we want to get up here, I want to say. Oh, no, this is where we wanted to go, over there. That's where a lot of coins are. There we go. Yeah, it's like a little cutscene where a guy pokes in and sees that stuff's going on, and he goes off to alert everyone. But that's for later. This is definitely one of the stages where the timer actually comes in handy because a few obstacles in the later area we'll find. Alright, wanna grab all this here. Oh, not quite big enough to grab those gold bars. But let's go grab a few of these. Oh, if they don't dodge out of my way. I think this is enough. There we go. Yep, hidden room filled with money. Because while we do have size as an issue, we also have to hit 500 gold before we can actually leave the stage. So let's grab some sandals literally made out of gold coins, because these people are way too wealthy. And I think there's some size stuff we can grab here. There we go. A matcha tea. And some stuff up here we don't get stuck, including a present. There we go. And now we come outside where all sorts of chaos is going on because of the thievery going on. Like a guard getting dragged into a well, Ruby hopping out of the hole. But let's hit this switch, because it'll open up this house here where there's a lot of money. And that should be enough to get us as far as we need to go. Yep, here's the mother lode. This is where they kept all the good stuff. Okay, that's not quite enough actually, so let's see. Maybe these gold balls we're supposed to grab. And then... Yep, just a few more coins and we should be good. How about these flowers made of gold coins and ladles? And let's give our money to Nezumi Kozo over here. Yeah, if we saw that cutscene, you just saw him doing some cool stuff and opening the gates for us to end the stage. You know, it's been cool Robin Hood type. We got ourselves one of those little ninja logs. You know, little substitution logs of the... Oh, I just realized we missed out on a crown there. Shoot. Okay. Don't worry, we can pivot. So we can probably get just the third crown and lots of icicles. We'll have to go a little bit longer than I want to, but... Yeah, I forgot there's... Yeah, I remember we're supposed to go around a long way to get back there, because there was a crown we could have grabbed by going to the left. Yep, here we're on the Ice Age. It's cold outside. And we've got Yeti here who wants us to help him clear out a cave full of all the icicles. So we're gonna do that and help him get a nice home. A little bit nicer than I meant to, because, you know, we have to get the crown in this stage as well. Alright. Also, this music is pretty cool, I gotta say. It's Ice Cube Soul, I think's the name of the song. Definitely very funky, I gotta say. The kind of song I feel like being a racing game of some sort. Yeah, that's the crown we gotta get up there. Those penguins are skating around. Yeah, Kingstar mentioned that these spikes could... The crown's Katamari spike enough that could probably climb up some walls. And here's Cousin Najamo, formerly known as Columbo, but got changed for some reasons involving like some words in Japanese that sound awkward. It sounds similar to other words which don't sound so great. You know, it's just a pronunciation thing. I remember doing a short on it back a little while ago. There's some interesting stuff to learn about, you know, Japanese and stuff. And that's cute, Santa getting a present for the sleeping bear. Well, Santa and the reindeer that's riding him. Okay, still not big enough for that? Maybe this cave will have enough icicles for us. Oh, a magnet, even better. We're probably gonna save that one for the as large as possible 5, because that's gonna be a big one. Alright, I think we're big enough to grab that crown now. So now you just kidnap this narwhal. There we go, okay. We're back on track crown-wise. And there we go, Yeti. You got yourself a nice home now. Now for the next Ice Age stage, we're gonna go make ourselves a perfect size mammoth. This is like the third of the just right stages. I should mention that the Ice Age and Stone Age kind of get into shorts in terms of how many stages they get. Because you only get 2 stages plus the Tiger It stages, which are basically like the roll up the cousins stages. And you only get those once you've basically collected all the cousins, so the one time you get all the stages is when you're closer to completion. With our stages usually just get 3, always get 3 off the bat or something. Right, so in this stage you gotta try and get it to 10 meters as close as possible without being able to see the size, but as we are right now, we're just trying to get it to 8 meters so we can end the stage once we get to all the crowns. And here's one up here in this big old fight ring between a big caveman and a mammoth. Ooh, a lot of animals here, good. Yeah, next time this feels a little bit weird compared to usual, probably because of the ice. Some snowman, a snow human. It's like a snowman, but it's a guy covered in snow as opposed to like a snowman. Some Sasquatch just chilling around here. And we got some aliens too, even. Nice. Yeah, the second of these crowns is kind of time dependent, so we're gonna have to... May take a bit of waiting, but we'll just grab these campfires while waiting. Nope, don't. There it is, we got it. Good timing, too. Yeah, the aliens are sucking up stuff from there, and you have to wait to grab that UFO right as it does that. But yeah, I think we have enough to get out of here. Not quite. Yeah, if you do it too early, the king lectures you on how you're misunderestimating it, but it is kind of funny to do that just to spite him a bit. There we go. I'm lucky to grab something else that causes the king to comment on stuff that interrupts his whole "this is too small" spiel. But yeah, 8 meters, obviously not a mammoth. But good news is that we now have all 60 of the crowns we need for this run, so we don't have to worry about crowns anymore. So if you look in the whatever it is, I don't have like the numbers next to stages anymore, so we don't have to worry about those anymore. Oh, did I miss one? Shit. Or shoot. Okay. Fast as possible, go. When did I miss one? That's weird. I could have sworn I got... Must have missed the one earlier. Okay, that's not great, but... And yeah, sorry for the swear. I'm usually not one for cursing, but, you know. Just on a bit of, oh shoot, panic. Okay, yeah, this is we're probably need to do another practice for later, but before we submit one to the fastest first, but again, we're learning. Yeah, the crown is not in here this time. Okay, there it is, in this little hole with a paper tiger. But yeah. Again, this is like my second time doing this, the official speedrun of this, so probably gonna practice more over the weekend and stuff, and we'll definitely see if we can get some good times and get a really good run in. Hey, maybe this extra plane will help out with the final stage. We'll see. And also the meteor, too. That might help. We'll see. Who knows? Oh, didn't mean to go to the SS Prince, just meant to go to the final stage. As large as possible 5. Well, it's not the final stage, but, you know, like the big finale-ish stage, because it's a stage where you get to roll up all the islands and stuff, and the king himself, you know. Very final stage sort of coded. And this song is Power of Katamari Damacy, sung by the guy who did the theme Katamari in the Swing, Katamari of Love, and Shadow and Light, which is from Katamari Forever. Very good music. And very cool guy coded if you've watched the music video, of course. Just King driving around his car looking very cool. Right, let's go here because there's a lot of people to grab right in here. And now I can head over this way to grab these bushes. And that tomboy cave girl. Yeah, you only have to get to 200 meters in the stage, which is even like the last area transition before it goes like basically the world. And right, we should use our magnet here since we're gonna be getting a new one soon. Alright. It's no time. Whoa. Woo! I'm gonna grab that rice thing or whatever, and those samurai doing like a super pose, one of those big rolling things or whatever. And yeah, I just grab a whole bunch of those little Spirit of Fun and Stuff statue, whatever. I think it's what the king was commenting on. Right, I do want to save the magnet for the next area, so we're not going to use it just yet. So they're going to roll up some street stalls, some firefighters, a lot of fences, of course. Interrupt Admiral Perry here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that's supposed to be there with the black ships and everything. Bit of Japanese history from like the 19th century, I want to say, or 20th century, where basically they sent Admiral Perry to do some gunboat diplomacy and open up Japan from being so isolationist. Something I learned about thanks to pop-in music in that one song, Perry Desu, featuring Admiral Perry and his hamburger can, and of course. That sounds so weird out of context, but then again, I am playing Katamari, so probably not that weird. And there's the crown down there, but we don't need him anymore. We're free. Once you hit 12 meters, let it have new areas to explore. Like the rest of Japan.
Mrs. Sunshine, come on.
An area that should be Japan, but isn't quite Japan, but, you know. Katamari can be a little bit weird with its locations as a treat. Like, I'm pretty sure real Japan didn't have dinosaurs roaming around it. There we go. Now we're getting there somewhere. Grabbing some of the slightly larger buildings. Yeah, according to the object description, those black ships are because they had a run-in with a crack and sprayed ink everywhere. Not actually because of, you know, being the black ships, but, you know. Bit of business history never hurts as a treat. Like in time of Katamari ravaged Japan. Take out this whole temple area. I use timer here, and I don't think it's really important to use it at all for anything. I do like detail that these towns are apparently almost slightly smaller than these messy housing complexes. For some reason, I don't know why. Probably just some silly Katamari size scaling stuff. You know, where there you can see Jumbo Man's ancestor just spinning a monster around. You know, as superheroes do. I do want that speed boost, so let's grab that for the next area. You know, I have like a whole bunch of like smaller, like country-style areas. And we'll go get to those in a bit. Like America, where there's these huge tumbleweeds rolling around. With entire towns rolled up in them. You know, there can only be one Katamari style thing around here, so you gotta stop them. Yeah, we're just gonna roll up stuff, always slowly make our way over to where this, where the volcano is, because that's where the big magnet for this area is gonna be. Yep, right inside that mountain there, you can just see it. So let's go grab it. Oh, if these mountain clouds don't knock us out of the way. There we go. Yeah, I know like in the 8 GDQ run, there was like a big move where they just like do a very well-timed dash that gets them like 20 to 80 meters very quickly. But I don't have the skill with this game, with the speedrunning tech to do that. So, just gonna have to deal to settle. But there we go, we hit the 200 meter mark, so... Time for this, what's basically the final main stage of the game. Which we finally get to visit the modern era. And it's a shame we don't really get to do that much in the modern era. There's Rev Up the Friars, the Sweet Stage, which we aren't going to get to see in a remake of the very first Katamari stage, which is kind of fun. Not right. Yeah, story time is that basically, apparently, a big meteor hit the Cosmos Scroll, and now it's making a big black hole in it, so... You gotta go plug it up by rolling a big Katamari you made up of all the memories of Earth or something. And yeah, by a few more memories, I mean just one more memory up in modern times. Where you just roll around a nice little food festival and make a fried Katamari. Yep, you can see the kid over there who we're gonna be serving. Hello, I'm the prince and I'll be serving you today. Yeah, time to make some very questionable street food. Yeah, other stages are missing lots of sweets is an interesting one, because it's also a stage that kind of had to like update in like the 1.04 patch, so you could actually like get the one of the biggest objects in that stage, which is basically beverage crate. Oh. And yeah, let's get this last magnet for the run. And there's a Rosetsu dog based off that one artwork. Oh, I guess you grab that with thanks to the crown. Just stuff some shumai dumplings in here, and here comes the kid who ready to get his taste buds destroyed. And he rolled right in a pot, and nicely fresh and hot. Enjoy your stomach cramps, Chid. And yeah, now officially time for the official final stage, where you just roll around the cosmos and roll up planets to save the world, save the cosmos itself. And yeah, I don't get to see any of the other modern day stages, sadly, but... time to roll our magnificent final Katamari with the Earth itself. Yeah, stage just called that whole ... but as well as not sounding very fancy, it just sounds a little bit, you know, snicker. And let's get rolling. I do like the detail in the stage that the at the version of the song of the song just like comes in slowly as opposed to just like starting fully. This makes it does sound a little bit more dramatic. Also notice we did roll up one of the cousin planets that's in this game, where if you roll up like a couple of cousins, you can get like a planet that the both of them live at. I think that's the one for La and Naranjo. Alright, T-Planet. Big Dipper. A random Sketa the King Misplaced. Anyway, planet. That little youngster. Should be ready to go soon, but once the king says this, we should be ready, then we're ready. Ooh, that's a big planet. Let's grab that one. Yep, there we go. Can we make 140? Sub 140? Yay! And that's gonna be GG for 1 minute 40. Kingston and Wax about how we brought the entire world together with the rolling and how everyone's thanking us, how the Katamari is the best game ever. But yeah, that's gonna be our second run for the day, and that's gonna be it for today since we are running low on time. But yeah, I think I know like 1 or 2 other people who's playing the game, so I'll send you on over to them. Yeah, folks had fun. Not sure what I'm gonna be playing for the week, but we'll figure it out. Let me just get my ready to raid out. So let's go see. Oh, no, don't want. Oh, learn about live display. I want to close it. Yep, stream manager, raid channel. Let's see who's around. Are you still playing? Yeah, okay, yeah. Tickery's still playing Once Upon a Katamari, so we're gonna rolling over to her now. But yeah, folks, hope you had fun watching. I had fun with my first 2 streams. We're gonna try and figure out what else to do next week. But yeah, take care, have fun, and hopefully we'll get a big run. It'll get submitted soon. Take care, everybody, and have a good night.